Today we've got a loaded show on Talk Sports tonight. Nigeria storms into the World Cup playoff after a 4-0 victory over Benin Republic, while South Africa pulled off a dramatic qualification comeback, and will break down the Super Eagles playoff path to the World Cup. If possible, they'll be making it through from the playoff to the Intercontinental, where two sport is up available for the big Mundial sports, which will be coming up right there in the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico in what is a trio joint World Cup for 2026. Plus, in England, there's pressure mounting on some big managers. Alan and Salah's form is turning heads. Will spotlight the surprise breakout style lightning Europe. Let's kick things off in Africa, where Victor Osimhen is writing yet another chapter of the Super Eagles history. My name is Adeyemi Shegun, and I'll be your host on tonight's edition of Talk Sport on Premier Sport France Center. You can subscribe to the channel and also switch on your notification. But I'm not alone in the studio tonight, as I also have with me in the studio my brother here, Yemite. Yemite, good evening.
Good evening, Shegun. It's so good to be back. Honestly, bro, it's been a very dramatic week, especially what happened yesterday in the world of football. So, oh my goodness, I'm still surprised.
Okay, as everybody's still surprised, Nigeria getting the 4-0 victory over Benin Republic. What a game! Nigeria delivered a statement, a 4-0 demolition of their neighbors, Benin Republic, and secured the playoff spot as one of CAF's best runner-ups. Osimhen was simply electric with a hat-trick, while Frank Onyeka sealed it with a late screamer under coach Chile. This team looks reborn for Nigeria. How vital was Osimhen's leadership and finishing to Nigeria's qualification? Is it now Africa's most clutch player?
I think that Victor Osimhen is a blessing to Nigeria. You just have to see, even despite the games that we fans complain about the attitude of the players, I don't think there's any game that Osimhen has been on the field that any Nigerian fan will complain about his attitude. You always see that he almost gives 100% at every point in time. You saw yesterday he was being subbed off because he was extremely tired. You will know that, he gave everything. So it's a blessing to this country and to Africa as a whole, because it's one of those big exports that Africa has in world football nowadays, and you just want those kinds of talent in the World Cup to represent Africa.
Yeah, hat-trick when it matters most for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and he's set on the tone. He now has 29 goals for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and each very close to breaking the record of the legendary Rashidi Yekini. And it looks like, yes, he'll definitely break that record. Rashidi Yekini has 37 goals for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and Osimhen is currently on 29 goals, and that is barely below 10 more goals he needs to break that status.
I think that in the playoffs that's coming, also Nations Cup, in those two competitions, I think that most likely might break that record, because now the momentum has swung towards Nigeria's side. When you remember the Ivory Coast Nations Cup, you saw when the momentum swung to the Ivorians, you saw the belief will come. When you are down and you are just given a lifeline, it means everything. You give everything at the end of the day. So I think that yes, it's Osimhen that will be the ISO scorer for Nigeria when he's retired.
Yes, and that is the man on the face of everybody. He's always available whenever Nigeria needs a talisman to come up clutch for them. What tactical tweak the coach Eric Chelle made that finally got Nigeria firing again? It's been long since Nigeria scored 4 goals in a game.
I think he learned something from the Zimbabwe game at Uyo, when he started with Osimhen alone up front. He noticed that when he doubled up on Arokodare, you saw how it opened up Osimhen to operate more freely. And since then, he has not looked back. So I think that was what it tilted towards, and arranged the guys to play to the strength of Osimhen. And look at, against Lesotho, he didn't score, he got an assist. Against Benin, he scored an hat-trick. So looking at against Rwanda, I think 4-3-3 worked for Rwanda game, but he saw how
Switch to
difficult.
4-4-2 this time around.
Yeah, when you are playing a team that is well defensively organized, like the Zimbabweans and some other guys we faced in the group. So doubling up with 4-4-2, like Arsene Wenger said, is one formation that you cover the field the most. To him, is the 4-4-2, because you have your wingers, you have like a line of 2 players from the defense straight to the attack who can also spread to the wings, and you have 2 guys on the wings operating from the wings, especially when they are pacey. And you have to talk about Chukwueze. Massive.
Chukwueze to me, yeah, I think he was massive in that game against against Benin Republic.
Yeah.
But like I do say, his consistency is the problem with Chukwueze. Today, he's on his own day.
Yeah.
He's a magnificent player, a player that is handful for every defenders. But on his off day,
Yeah,
he can actually be frustrating.
One thing you have to look at is try to follow the trajectory of the move to Fulham. It looks like the coach of Fulham is doing something. When he came in against Bournemouth, you saw he got an assist, and coming into the Nigeria, he didn't really play much against Lesotho, but the game is started. Look at how he grew into the game.
I'm sure Ademola Lookman be scared of his position as starting 11 of the Super Eagles right now.
I don't think so. I think the coach can create a space for the 2 of them to operate. Just imagine a 4-4-2 where you have Chukwueze on the right, Ademola on the left, and you have Iwobi and Ndidi.
Moses Simon.
And Moses Simon too can come in the second half. Chukwueze cannot be a 90 minutes player all the time. Sometimes you need to balance the wings, and sometimes you need to stick with Moses Simon, because Moses Simon too has been massive for us.
For Paris
and left for me, maybe Lookman will sit on the bench and use the inform, because see, football is about what you did yesterday, not what you did the day before yesterday. Because it's consistency. What you do part time, it builds your confidence, it builds your momentum. And see, in football, one of the most important things is momentum. When you want to win anything, is momentum. Look at Man City. I think 14 straight winnings, 18 straight winnings. They won the league. When is that momentum? Once you can build momentum, you will be very successful. And that's one thing the Super Eagles has been managing to build now. They've been building momentum gradually. Defeating Rwanda, played a disappointing draw. You have to talk about it because they almost won that game. Then came again Rwanda, defeated Rwanda here. Came again Lesotho, went to South Africa. We know the field was not the best. Played a draw.
Unfortunately not to get a feature in that game.
Yeah, unfortunate. And Lesotho win. Now Benin win. That's back-to-back wins. So momentum is everything.
Okay, and also moving on. Does this performance restore faith in the Super Eagles after the shaky start earlier on in the qualifier?
No,
We've seen 3 managers coach the Super Eagles in this qualifiers. We had the Lesotho,
the Nations Cup. Guavon also came in.
Yeah, we had that was Nations Cup. No,
Pesero started the
World Cup.
Guavon took over from him. Guavon was sick.
Finidi came in. Yes, and after Finidi we are
Guavon.
Yeah,
it was a Guavon. The Nations Cup, Nations Cup qualifier was in between.
In between, yes.
Yeah, so he would have been the coach if not that he was sick.
Came in.
Yeah, but Erichel, one thing you have to notice too is it is important to find a manager that wants the job
and understands the game of football.
Yes, you can be good.
See the passion. You can see the passion in it.
You can be good. You can be very good. But when they give you something you have been longing for, you will give your all. You see that.
So are you giving Eric Chell a plus as the manager of the Super Eagles?
You have to give him. You will be unfair if you don't give him. Look at the squad he inherited. Low in confidence. Nobody will give them any chance. Written off. And look at it. They are in the playoffs. And look at it. He went to the Unity Cup. He won it. Yes, the Chan Eagles. He was not the one that prepared that team. So you can at least cut him some slack. So look at the way the Super Eagles have. You will know that, there's a manager on the bench. It's not like the Super Eagles of, like the Yoruba will say, Yije, that you don't know, they just play. You know that they are playing as a unit now. Look at that substitution. That's how to read the game. Okay, the guys he was bringing in. Look at against Lesotho.
read the game, looked at
Brought
it,
in Akko.
brought in Akko. Akko got the second goal, which proved to be decisive. Look
Also
at the
this
game yesterday.
Brought in Frank Onyeka.
Onyeka, Nigeria needed one more goal, and we were like, on the studio here, I was like, why bring in a defensive-minded midfielder? See, sometimes as a journalist or as an analyst or a presenter, you should just stick with your job and leave the job of coaching for the coach. And look at what happened yesterday. Look at Onyeka was at the right place at the right time, and many of those kinds of movement, they are training ground routine actually.
Yeah.
You see that they were all out, and it was there to actually finish it up. And you have to give Eric Chell his flowers.
Yeah, good finishing from Frank Onyeka in that account. I'm moving on, yes, from celebration to anticipation. Now all eyes are on who Nigeria faces next in the playoff. We move on straight to yes, with Gabon likely as the semi-final opponent and an intercontinental playoff potentially waiting beyond the Nigerian rules to 2026 looks steep but manageable. The question is how ready are they mentally and tactically for knockouts of football? Nigeria draws Gabon in the first semi-final of the playoff with what will be the key tactical battle in this encounter.
Yeah, I think that one thing you should know about also that the Super Eagles have is their tournament team. Any tournament arrangement, Nigeria they know how to, but not I did not include the World Cup. But anything African tournament, they are a tournament team. So you can say you write them off in qualifiers because they can be very lackadaisical. But when it comes to tournament, they are a tournament team. And you can expect anything from a tournament team.
Okay, so Nigeria will be hoping to make the qualification for the intercontinental playoff. Yeah, they have to scale through Gabon, Cameroon, and DR Congo in the semi-final and final, which comes up sometimes in November, right there in Morocco. It's a neutral ground for all these four teams in what would be one of the rehearsal for the African Cup of Nations coming up on December. You can join us on Premier Sports Fan Center for some of the actions December when the Africa Cup of Nations kick off right there in Morocco. And moving on, here is where the headache is. Should Eric Chell stick with the same attacking trio or rotate the balance? Because right now we'll be having Ademola Lukman come back into the Super Eagles of Nigeria after missing the last game against Benin due to card accumulations.
As far as I'm concerned, you don't change a winning 11. Benin is not a small team in this qualifier. They did very well. You have to give them some credit also. They came into it, who would have expected they would gather 14 good points and share the spoils 33 points with the Super
They got
Eagles.
17 points.
Yeah?
17 points.
No, they have 14 because they did. Yeah, is it for 15? No,
Due to the reduced
17
points accumulated.
Yeah, they got 17 points. And who would have thought they will get that number of points? So they are not.
You also have to give it to Gareth Roll, the manager of Benin Republic. I think he did the unthinkable with that squad. And the future is actually bright for Benin Republic.
Yeah.
We saw Cape Verde, make their debut at the World Cup. They defeated
fantastic.
against all odds. Cameroon was in that same group with Cape Verde, but we've seen Cape Verde from the Nations Cup. We know that the prospect is there, and they've got a step further. Moving to qualifying for the World Cup, which is actually good for the small island nation. Okay, stop. Still on the Super Eagles. Can Nigeria also handle the pressure of playoff scenario after missing the last World Cup?
Yeah, they are a tournament team. If there's the pressure of playoff, I think it won't be more than the pressure of this Benin. Because, see, it is one thing for you to just want to win. It is another for you to say that, you have to win by 4 goals. But it makes it more difficult. And getting it at the 9 minutes the way they did, it will skyrocket the confidence in the squad. And it can be very, very profiting for them.
And there's no way we have to talk about that without giving it to the Super Eagles and player. They gave it their all in that game against Benin Republic. And a lot of Nigerian fans were of the question that where was this spirit all through the qualifying stage of the World Cup? I think probably they looked down or underrated some of those teams coming into the qualifiers.
Not just that, they underrated, even NFF underrated the qualifiers generally. Because if they didn't, they underrated the countries that we have in this group. They would just feel like, South Africa, our customer, Benin, our customer, but they forgot that you have to play football on the field of play. Look at how South Africa went about their qualifier, kept on with Hugo Bruce. He started building. They don't have that pool of talent, but they are playing as a unit. So I think that and that's one of the painful thing about it. I don't think Nigerians learn. So if they learn anything from this, I think they should start working towards 2030 from now.
Okay, well, from the Super Eagles to the Bafana of South Africa, whose qualification story had everything: controversies, resilience, and redemption. A 3 points of deduction for fielding an ineligible player, player almost on the rail them, yet the fought back to the top of their group. It's a statement of character. And talking about that, before we move straight into talking about South Africa, this our Arsenal fan walked into the studio. Paulo, it's a pleasure having you on TalkSport tonight.
Yeah, it's pleasure, being back here again. But just want to say I'm very sorry for coming a little bit late into the studio. So excited to be back. Sure I always, enjoy whenever I'm here.
Okay, you worked at the right time, man. We're moving straight to South Africa now. We saw South Africa, yesterday against Rwanda. Nigerians were almost praying for a Rwanda victory over South Africa, though I know it's the unthinkable. But I think South Africa drawing against Zimbabwe actually made Nigerians think or thought that a victory for Rwanda against South Africa was possible. How did Hugo Bruce manage to keep South Africa motivated through this drama of having 3 points deducted? There's a way it messes with psychology of the team.
Yeah, and you have to give South Africa the flowers, because after the red card, the 3 point, which I still consider as a red card, being shown to them or being deducted from them, they still move on and ahead with their business. Though when they drew Zimbabwe, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I was part of those people that was having faith or believing that Rwanda could do us favor." But after the match against Benin Republic, that was the match between Benin and Rwanda. That was when it was clear that Rwanda is playing for nothing anymore, because they cannot qualify automatically. They cannot even qualify via the playoffs. So, at that stage, I was like, South Africa would definitely, defeat them and take all 3 points. But like you said, South Africa, they really tried. And I think overall in the team, they deserve to qualify ahead of every other team in that group, because they showed character and intent.
Yeah, yes, they showed character and intent during the qualifying stage, and congratulations to the Bafana of South Africa for making it through as one of the already 9 qualified African team. Just one spot is left for Africa, with Nigeria getting
Not
that.
for Africa, even for
it's two.
It's
It's
just
two
a
at the
playoff
at the playoff stage. So it's definitely 60 to 40%. Africa should be getting one of the 2 spots when it comes to the final. The 2 finalists are the Intercontinental Playoff make it through to the World Cup. That's how it starts.
Oh, the 2 finalists.
Yeah, at the Intercontinental, not the Africa Playoff right now. After the Africa Playoff, the winner is going to the Intercontinental Playoff.
Which will be matched next year.
Yeah, which will be matched next year. So the Africa representative is joining in at the semi-final stage of that. So I think that they'll be getting one of the. How do you say? It's football. Upsets happens in a game of football. So
but I don't think it's all the African team. It's based on the ranking. I think if Nigeria, among the teams that are there right now, if Nigeria progress, we will definitely be joining in the semi-final.
Yeah,
unlike
that's what I'm saying.
the other teams, Gabon and Co, they won't be joining in the semi-final.
Okay, yes, but it is very certain that if Nigeria makes it to the playoff, they'll be joining in the semi-final.
And I think Paulo should apologize to the Nigerian coach, because he really undermined the coach.
I didn't undermine
but yesterday I saw the excitement.
No, right from the beginning, it actually has looked fantastic. Even with
really
the Mali
good.
national team, if you follow the Mali national team
Yeah.
at the African Cup of
Yeah,
Nations,
they
they played
played
fantastic
very
football.
well.
It's
Yeah.
even yet to play the model of football he played with the Malians.
There's
They
no
were just
time
unlucky.
yet.
They were unlucky against
Yeah.
Ivory Coast at the
Just
Nations Cup.
unlucky, yeah.
The last minute was when they considered when they were
Considered
preparing for. They considered 2 goals during the during the normal game. They considered at the death of it, 90th minute. 90th minute, Ivory Coast equalized.
Yes.
At the extra time, he was already penning down his
The
penalty
penalty
takers,
takers,
and at
and-
120 minutes, Ivory Coast got the winner. So he was just unlucky. Mali at the Nations Cup were actually one fantastic team.
Yeah.
That's what he has brought to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I know a lot of Nigerians, really undermine him, looking at him that he's from Mali. Why should we get him Malian as the not talking about Malian as our own Malian, but why should we get him Malian
He's
as
a
the
Malian.
coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
But he's also a French.
Yeah, he's a French.
He's a
Malian
Okay, yes, I'm
French.
still talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Oh, sorry, talking about the Bafana of South Africa. Yeah, my top. Does this show that South Africa are becoming mentally strong as a team, for a team that is highly dominated with players who are home based?
I don't think there's anything mental or anything about it. See, when the lion is asleep, the prey will play in the forest. Had it been Nigeria was awake, all this English language will not be popping up for South Africa. It's just because Nigeria refused to wake up. They slept. That's just it. The giant is asleep. The prey will run around. So that's just what I think for this.
Okay, let's see if the Giants will be waking up in time to come. And lastly, can they South Africa carry this resilience into the AFCON and World Cup playoffs and World Cup proper?
Definitely, like I said here, I was in the studio here yesterday, and I talked about how other teams in Africa have actually upped their game, except for Nigeria, where I feel, we are not where we used to be, and I think we are, not to me. I don't think we are really, moving in the pace that the other African countries are really going at the moment. Because you look at Nigeria, maybe the group when the draw was made, you expect us to blow those teams away, but it wasn't easy. But for South Africa, I think they will definitely, give their best. Probably, move on to the next stages. But I don't think they will. I don't see them, ending the final eight, unless, though in football they said anything is possible. We saw that with Morocco in the last World Cup, but I believe South Africa will definitely do better than some other teams.
Okay, yes, it's left to say South Africa will be doing better. And speaking of tournaments, Nigeria and South Africa will soon shift and focus to AFCON 2025, and that Group C draw has raised eyebrows. And Nigeria is drawn alongside Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania in Group C. Not an easy ride. Tunisia are technically sharp. Uganda are gritty. We saw Uganda almost pulling out the magic against Algeria yesterday. One of those games that would have given Nigeria a lot of headache, permutations going around when Uganda were leading at the 70th minute against Algeria. But Algeria came back to get a 2-1 victory in that encounter. We also, Tanzania are improving fast. We saw Tanzania at the last Nations Cup, even right from the time we had our own legend Amunike as the manager of Tanzania. Now looking at Tunisia, Tunisia seems to be a qualifying team. They know how to get themselves to the World Cup. Beautiful route. They lost 0 game in the World Cup qualifiers.
Knockout stage of the Nations Cup, they know how to do it. And they've also defeated Nigeria in a painful way to that Nations Cup.
That's 2004.
Thereabout. So Tunisia is also a tournament team. And one thing about these groups now is that there's a best loser spot.
Was it not in 2006? 4 or 6?
I think it's 4.
Yeah, 4. That was the time of Ozazeo Dewinge.
Yeah. So I think that Nigeria can find a way in their group. Tanzania and Uganda shouldn't be a difficult team for Nigeria to defeat. Like I repeat, if Nigeria is awake and doing what they should do at the right time, these teams, Nigeria will take them to the cleansers. There's a reason why Nigeria has won back-to-back best player of the year. The Nigerian players are still best players in Africa. So I think that, yes, build your team around your best men. When you look at that formation yesterday, they played to the strength of Osimhen. Osimhen didn't have to stress. He just positioned himself and converted. Look at that first Chikwueze pass. Put it in the right place for Osimhen. He knows how to finish. The header, put it in the right place. He knows how to finish. He almost scored 4 or 5 goals, if not for the brilliance of the goalkeeper. Play to the strength of your marquee men. Simple as that.
Okay, and Paulo, who possesses the biggest strengths to Nigeria in this Group C?
Well, I think it should be Tunisia, because we always find it difficult when we meet most these countries from the North African side of Africa. And you look at Tunisia, they are one of those teams that have do their business in a very easy and calm way. They don't have to use calculator like the way we do here in Nigeria. So I think Tunisia should be giving us a good run.
So we're spoiled for choice.
He has proved to be a very, very important player. Now Akko has come in. Look at how smooth. Look at the transition. Look at the way, especially was it the attempt Nigeria got, the way he expands on the wing. He's not just a point man. He's a player that can play from the right, from the left. Very flexible and good with both feet. So I think that
is that still any need for bringing in Chuba Akpom into the Super Eagles?
Chubakpom. See, one thing about national team football is about what you are doing currently at your club, your current performance, your current form. So it's very important. If he's a guy in form, you can't really ignore a guy in form without calling the media to make noise about it.
Okay, as I'm still moving on, to the still on the Nations Cup, Paulo, can Nigeria use the African momentum to build confidence for the World Cup?
Well, that is if we have, if we qualify for the, I think
The
qualifying would
November.
Yes,
and is next year match.
Yeah, and I don't know how it's going to, if the qualifying for the World Cup, I think it might affect our players going into the Nations Cup, because by then they would have played a lot of games, November, December.
There was normal to be friendly matches on November. Nigeria's game is built for that November 13th.
November 13th.
Let's cross over to England here. Okay. Hello, welcome to the Premier Sport Fun Center, and it's another watch along on UEFA Champions League night. Today is Wednesday, which is day 2 of UEFA Champions League. The Mufsim match. Galatasaray got to the victory over Bodo Glimt, and also Atletico Bilbao getting the 3-1 victory over Atletico, AS Monaco rather, and the Tottenham Hotspur, Atlanta against Slavia Prague, was Frankfurt against Liverpool, Bayern Munich against Club Brugge, we also have Real Madrid against Juventus, and Sporting Lisbon against Olympique Marseille. These are the games lined up on tonight from the UEFA Champions League. And away from the UEFA Champions League, we'll also be looking at the World Youth Under 17 World Youth Championship. That is a female category where the Flamingos of Nigeria are currently lining up against the French opponent. They lost the first game to Canada. That game was really abysmal to the side. Yes, they lost 4-1 to Canada. They started the first half, lost so many chances in that game. Unfortunately, they had to lose that game 4-1.
But you see, it's a testament to the fact that when you don't put your house in order, you will be disgraced at the higher level. Because when you look at it, the Canadians are doing a whole lot in their female football. You saw how far they usually go in the World Cup and also in their Continental Championship. So it's a testament to the fact that we need to do a lot. Just create a structure. Okay,
as the stopping block for the Flamingos tonight has to be the French opponents who won their first game against Samoa, if I'm not mistaken. They defeated them 2-0 in that first leg game. So Nigeria will be looking to redeem all our own to redeem themselves today when they face off against France. So we'll be giving you scoreline from that game as that game goes on right there at Morocco, if I'm not mistaken. And now looking back to this Foca game, the Chelsea against Ajax is looking like a new starting 11 for Chelsea today tonight against Ajax.
Yeah, one thing I don't like about the Chelsea coach, is that too many twists and turns in the team, too many in and out. You can't really say this is the starting 11 for Chelsea, and that is a risk. It is a big risk, because the cohesion, the understanding and all over the course of the season, it can be undermined really. So I think that Chelsea needs to do well to at least have a proper starting 11.
Okay, as well as if Chelsea get a victory over Ajax, the needed victory. Looking at the last game against Benfica, where they struggled to get a 1-0 victory, they need to get their victory in this game. Looking at the first game, or putting into consideration the first game against Bayern Munich, which they lost about 3-1, if I'm not mistaken, on the first night. But they got a 1-0 victory over Benfica, but they're still in the minus goals on deficit, and they have to beat Ajax tonight. Ajax looks like the team that everybody feel like they can beat in the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, Chelsea should be able to do 1 or 2 against an Ajax team, and that's the more reason why Chelsea should be starting up with a strong starting 11, not a team whereby you want to compensate some guys that are not starting on the bench. So that have been on the bench, but it is an important game that you need to score a whole lot of goals. Then why bench your best leg? So I don't know why, but it looks like the coach is tilting towards satisfying everybody at the end of the day.
Okay, let's see if he can satisfy everybody. It kick-started already around the Europe. Various centers is still 0-0 right now in the first. I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centers where games have started already. Also, the Sporting Lisbon and Marseille game has also started. Living out of Real Madrid against Juventus with the players on the top, but yet to kickstart that game. Chelsea holding on to possession in the early stages of this encounter. Before we go straight into commentaries, what are your expectations from Chelsea tonight?
Yeah, I want to see a Chelsea that wants to go for the kill. I want to see a Chelsea that want to score a whole lot of goals, because now goals is very important in the Champions League. Once you are tied on point, the next thing is goals. So why not just do the needful? It's really, really important at the end of the day.
Okay, yes, and Jimmy Gittins with the ball sends one into the box there, but Ajax clears the lines and they'll look to hit Chelsea out on the counter. There looks like there was an infringement there. Yes, referee was going to give that free kick to Ajax, and that is the former Ajax player Jorel Ato, who is starting as a left back for Chelsea. He hasn't really started a lot of games for Chelsea, no thanks to the form of Marco Correa, who is one of the best, if not even
Left
the top 3 left back in the world right now.
As far as I'm concerned, I think it will be in the top 2. And not just the top 3, because he has been doing almost everything right. Getting on the goals, getting on the assists, doing his defensive duties. You had to complain that he makes a mistake from his wing. And even in the Spanish national team, for him to be able to keep Grimaldo on the bench, he's doing a whole lot of things right.
Okay, one man who is not new to the EPL team, John Eitinga, is the manager of Ajax. How fast will we all grow old right these days? Looking at John Eitinga as the coach of Ajax there. I remember when he was playing with Everton in the EPL, so he's not new to what English teams bring to the table. I do think that will be a factor in coming up, setting up this game for Ajax.
Yeah, it will be a factor, but Ajax is one team that has been struggling this season, so you can't really expect too much from them. Yeah, there can be experience from the coach, but yeah, if you don't have the legs to prosecute the ideas on the field of play, then you'll be left hanging. And I think Ajax we saw PSV yesterday done a 6-2 over Napoli, the Italian champions, but hey, I don't see Ajax doing that. And looking at this season, it looks like it's fair. No, that is the team.
Yeah, they're the defending champions also.
Yeah.
Okay, looking at all the interesting games now, the big ties tonight. We have Real Madrid.
It was PSV.
PSV are the winners, yes.
Yes, but
Feyenoord are topping right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Also talking about the game between Real Madrid and Juventus, that game kick-started already. This is another big game on the table.
Yeah, another big game.
For a struggling Juventus side.
You remember the Cristiano Ronaldo bicycle kick that got the Juventus fans standing ovation and clapping. A lot of history around this game, but I think there's not much, because Juventus is not a house in order right now. I think Tudor has a 2-game ultimatum. I think, how many coaches will they sack? I think they should check inside that. They have a lot of things to correct. Accumulating the draws and also losing some key games that they should be winning, like Como, putting to past them in the weekend. So I think Juventus has a lot of improvement to make. But hey, Real Madrid coasting home after that defeat to Atletico Madrid. They come back stronger and looking more hungry of the side. So I think that it's a Real Madrid's team to win, game to win, but with Mbappe also on fire.
Okay, another big one tonight has to be AS Monaco against Tottenham Hotspur. Another beautiful game to look forward to. Looking at the form Ansu Fati is currently for AS Monaco. He's starting this game against Tottenham Hotspur. Do you think, or do you see him causing a lot of damages against the English opponents?
Yeah, I think it will cost him a lot of damages because he had a lot to learn at Barcelona, if not for injuries that really slowed him down. And if you can get Ansu Fati into the mojo whereby he was pairing with Messi, then I think that you have one hell of a player at your hands, and he's beginning to grow into that kind of player, because Monaco is with less pressure, not too many media hype. Now he can face his game. Look at Greenwood playing his own game too also right now. So I think that yes, over time it can be that player that will be dangerous at the end of the day. But Tottenham also a bit here and there. You can't really say where they are at this point in time. A strong matchup together. It's like a team in the same range.
Okay, talking about one team far away from the opponents in terms of range, it has to be Bayern Munich against Club Brugge, where it took Bayern Munich just 5 minutes to open the goal scoring in that game. Lennart Carroll with the first goal at the 5th minute for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, Bayern Munich,
they are one of the most complete team in the Champions League this season. And I think that, yes, they are one of the favourites to win. Just keep Harry Kane fit, keep Michael Olise fit, and Luis Diaz fit. Then the guys in the back doing what they know how to do best. And I think that Bayern Munich can really, really win this Champions League. It's not a matter of if Bayern will win this game. It's a matter of how many goals Bayern will win. And Ajax has
Ajax with a chance to attack against Chelsea with this very chance for the first goal for Ajax. Goes out wide, it comes in well there and holds onto the ball there. The finishing let him out there, and Chelsea will break out from the back right now. And it seems like it was Moises Caicedo on the ball there, finds Giroud that returns it back to the centre back where he finds his Chelsea teammate. And looking at Moises Caicedo starting for Chelsea tonight, he's starting as a right back for Chelsea.
Yeah, one thing you just want to do is to just keep him in play. Let him be on the field of play. And I think mostly it's an inverted right back role, whereby he just plays into the midfield. We saw him do this against Tottenham last season, do it a whole lot of times. So I think he's one player that has the strength to cover a lot of tracks on the field of play. Then you just want to keep him on the field. The wings you put him doesn't matter. What really matters is how many spaces he can cover.
Okay, it also kick-started that game between the Nigerian under-17 female team and also the French female team. That game is also in the 7th minute. It's currently 0-0 in that encounter. We really wish the Nigerians best of luck in that encounter as they look to get back into their mojo and get a 3 points over the French opponent. And looking at Chelsea starting 11 tonight, Jorgensen is the preferred goalkeeper ahead of the regular first-choice goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. On the defense, we have Moises Caicedo as a right back. We also have a Fofana, but Chelsea attack, but referee adjudged that to be an offside. So we have a Moises Caicedo, Fofana, Adarabioyo, and Jorel Ato at the back line. In middle of the park, we have Enzo Fernandez, who is the standing captain in the absence of the Chelsea captain, Reece James, who is out of this game. He's on the bench, rather. We also have Romeo Lavia pairing with him at the arts of the midfield. Up front, we have Jimmy Gittins, Bonanotte, and Esteval starting. And up front, first start for this man in the UEFA Champions League for Chelsea, Magui, starting for Chelsea. Looking at the starting 11, Magui, we saw him in the last 2 games. Beautiful cameo from him. I think he deserves to start out this encounter.
Yeah, Magui came in against
Liverpool and also Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, given that performance and with the way he has stayed loyal, even with the wake up from the loan at Sunderland, I think he deserves more playing time, and he's beginning to grow into that centre forward that can hold his own up front. But hey, this is Chelsea, whereby you just have to win, and these are players that are just growing. So in the space of time that they are going, they commit so many errors, and the team will have to pay for it.
Okay, looking at Ajax starting 11, it's a 4-3-3 formation for Ajax. Flat 3 midfield, and then goal posts we have Pasvia in the fence. We have Rosa, Itakura, Sotalo, and Baz. In middle of the park, we have the captain Taylor, Glodge, and also McConnell. Up front is Moro, Weghorst, another familiar name, and Guts starting for Ajax. We saw Weghorst when he came to Manchester United, though it didn't end the way you would have wanted it to be, but he's back at Ajax and he's a formidable guy. The experience is there for this young man.
Yeah, the experience is there. You look at some important goals he got for Man U. I think they ended that season winning a trophy. I think a Carling Cup or FA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that is one player with a lot of experience. He has played with a lot of English sides, so I think he can tell them a 1 or 2 on what to do and what not to do. So
all right, 10 minutes and it's corner kick to Chelsea. Quickly checking with a spirit chance there. But that's Souls out wide for another Chelsea corner kick, and beautifully defended there by the Ajax defender. I think that was a good chance for Chelsea to get the first goal. It was almost a free header for the Chelsea player found in that situation. Another corner kick here is Enzo Fernandez will be standing on this corner kick duties for Chelsea. Straight into the 11th minute of that encounter. It's still 0-0 between Chelsea and Ajax. You can go into the comment section and predict which of these games are currently going. Let us see what your prediction is going to be. Chelsea in possession, referee spotted an infringement in the box there. And looking at the under 17 Nigeria starting 11, it's a 4-4-2 formation. Boniface is the goalkeeper. In defense we have Adebayo, Shuab, Ibrahim, and Odunton. In the middle of the park we have Nwachukwu, Rotimi, Abubakar, and the Tiger herself, Shakira Mashoud. While up front is Olanrewaju and Joseph for the Flamingos. For France, we have Chevrolet, the goalkeeper. It's another 4-4-2 flat one for also for France in this one. Seka, Fetia, Tranchant, and Badet rather make the back four. In midfield, we have Rufen, Diakite, Karifi, and also Maurice Saint. While up front is Adedini, not Adedini of Nigeria though, and Jobri for France. So it's left to see how the Nigerian girls will take on the French opponent and see if they can take them to the cleanser in that encounter. About 11th minute is still 0-0 between both opponents both teams rather in that encounter. And in the UEFA Champions League, we've seen just one goal already, and that is the goal between Bayern Munich and Club Brugge. The 5th minute, Karl was the first goal scorer. Other centers is still 0-0 as it stands. Well, let's look at the Chelsea game. 11th minute into this encounter, it has been a totally dominated affair from Chelsea in this one.
Yeah, Chelsea has dominated, but they've not really been convincing. A lot of domination without proper penetration is another thing at the end of the day. So I think with these boys, one thing about rotating your starting 11 is that there won't be that cohesion. Sometimes when you play so much with a teammate, you can actually back and know where your teammate will be at a particular point in time, and that will be lacking in this game. But let's see how far these guys can really show the coach that you can be on the bench and
it's a chance for Chelsea with this very first goal. Unfortunately, that was a beautiful chance to Magui, but the Spanish international couldn't pull that. Looks like a poor finishing. But looking at how much he put himself into space, I think this is one thing Chelsea has really missed with having a striker up front.
Yeah, I think that Magui could take a touch off that player right there and do something better. Yeah, Magui making those runs is one of the things Chelsea. And I think Joao Pedro is not really the best guy for that number 9 spot. I think he should play in behind the striker.
But there's going to be a big issue when Cole Palmer returns for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think that when you see Cole Palmer on the field, Joao Pedro performs better as a number 9 because Cole Palmer has the vision to pick those ones. We saw him against PSG. We saw him against Flamingos in the Club World Cup. You see how they put
the ball there, sends along one into the balls, but that looks like the heat was too much on the ball. The 18-year-old Brazilian with a teasing cross into the box, but looks like one overweighted pass right there.
Yeah, so it's an overweighted one right there because I think he can do better from that place. It was maybe the anxiety was too much on him, and that he could just it was just like a wayward pass at the end of the day. So goal kick to Ajax, and the goalkeeper sends that one forward right there. Ato drops it down for Lavia, and it's so good to see Lavia in the starting 11.
Yeah, he's wanting for him to start. He's wanting for him to start, and he's wanting for him to remain still fit to the end of. Because I think Chelsea really need they really need to have Lavia fit because there's this kind of stability he brings into the starting 11 whenever he is available. Yes, Chelsea possession of the ball as a look to attack against Ajax. That is Tosa Darabioyo on the ball onto the winger, finds the Chelsea winger. Might just be a chance for Chelsea, but another touch up too much right there from the Chelsea defender Ato right there playing against the team where Chelsea actually bought him from. He was a big prospect right there at Ajax.
Yeah, it was against his.
He was the captain, if I'm not mistaken, the last captain of Ajax.
Yeah, it was one of the go-to guys for the team at a very young age. And
it looks like we'll be having the first yellow card in this encounter, and that should be a free kick to Chelsea, and it's an Ajax player who is getting that yellow card. Let's see, that looks like a careless tackle there on Bonanotte. The player who got that yellow card is the captain, if I'm not mistaken, Taylor of Ajax there, spotting the jersey number 8. So we have the first yellow card is Taylor of Ajax who got that for Ajax against Chelsea. That is actually a careless tackle there. We have the second goal in that game between Bayern Munich and the Club Brugge. It's 2-0 right there. Who else than Harry Kane right there at the 14th minute to give Bayern Munich a 2-0 lead, and also Sporting Lisbon getting the first goal. Olympic Marseille getting the first goal against Sporting Lisbon. Igor Paisao getting getting that goal in the 14th minute also. So those are the two centers where we've seen goal, and 15 minutes gone almost in all centers across Europe. But our focal match is that one between Chelsea, and it looks like there might be a possibly record check there. And after VAR, the referee is looks to be changing that to a red card, and it's a straight red card to the Ajax captain Taylor, and it's going from bad to worse from Ajax for Ajax right now, from playing the first 15 minutes and being totally dominated by Chelsea and getting a red card right there in the 15th minute.
Honestly, a disappointing one from the captain. Needless tackle. You could have been more careful. You know, there's VAR. All this full study tackle. Yeah, the intention might be there not to just put the other player in danger, but yeah, there's VAR. VAR will just stick with the start, and now he's out of the field. The team will have to suffer.
Yeah, the team will have to suffer, but can Chelsea take advantage of that? That is what really matters the most right now, because Ajax has been reduced to 10 men, and they'll have to play with 10 men for the next 75 minutes of this game. How do you see them coping with this?
Oh my goodness, you saw his scoreline. So, I think that the referee will have to the coach has to react from the bench and maybe try to choke up the midfield, because when the midfield is open, it will be an expressway to the defense. But
yeah, I think sorry for cutting you short. I think the biggest problem has to be that reaction. We saw the Chelsea manager reacted. This should be the first goal, and that is the first goal. Whereas this man making most of his chances tonight. Making good use of him starting for Chelsea. Magui tapping that into the back of the net. A typical night for Chelsea. The younger talent was gotten from Barcelona and has just put Chelsea ahead just seconds after Ajax got a red card, and directly from that free kick which resulted from that tackle from Taylor.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night for them. You know, they were chasing possession even before the red card. Now they are one man down. Now a goal down. It's going to be a long.
Let's see if VAR will be allowing that to stand, because whenever you have a goal, there will always be a VAR check. But I don't think there's an offside check here. He's well onside, and that is one thing we talk about. Magui, his positioning and moving into space is always top notch. And even when he was not starting for Chelsea, looking at the performance he gave for Chelsea at the Conference League last season before his injury, and you look at him coming back from Sunderland and the way he manages situation, it shows a well trained talent.
Yeah, he's one guy that you have to give it to him. The attitude is well mannered player, moral top notch, and the way he has handled the situation, you hardly hear him come out in the press and say those things. He knows that he needs to grow, and he's giving himself the time to grow. He's more or less a kind of player that has the attitude Chalobah has. With no matter what Chelsea was taking him through, he never went to the press and start speaking like the ways Lukaku and co will do. But I think that yes, when you have a top talent and you have the right attitude to go with it, then the sky is the starting point.
Okay, the star is the starting point, and the stars are out there right there at the Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea has gotten the first goal in that encounter. It was Magui, the man who is starting his first Champions League game for Chelsea tonight, getting his first goal in the UEFA Champions League in the Chelsea color. And you can see Ettinger looking really dejected right there on the bench, and looking frustrated. Probably he should be going to his bench and make a substitution, but he has to be very careful not making a careless substitution right now.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. It's one thing to lose a player, it's another to lose your captain. When you lose your captain, that's a leader. When you lose a leader on the pitch of play, it takes a whole lot from you. And if it's just any other player, you can say he will assume the leadership role, but it is their captain that was supposed to assume the leadership role when things like this happen. So I think it has happened. They have to react, and maybe at the end of the day, the coach will get it right.
Yes, Chelsea attacking again, and looking at the way Ajax goes into the tackles, it's so really crazy. Careless, careless from them. They'll look to attack against Chelsea. Beautifully won there by Chelsea, but Ajax back in possession into the midfield. We have a Glock on the ball there, returns it back to his defender Iketura on the ball there, and Iketura will go back to the goalkeeper Pasveer, and Pasveer out of his box sends a long one into the Chelsea half. This shouldn't threaten the Chelsea defense, where Wesley Fofana will allow that to roll to Joe Gessin. Joe Gessin pressing, drops it straight for the Chelsea defender. And yes, Chelsea in the middle of the park. Romeo Lavia will be hoping to make the Belgium squad to the World Cup and looks onto the wing and finds his teammate there, Esteval. Esteval cuts inward with the ball there, returns it back to his Chelsea teammate, and yeah, it's Chelsea taking their time, marching forward like the soldiers there, straight onto the wing where we find Jamie Gatins, who has played 8 games for Chelsea without a goal and assist, and this might just be the best game for him to break that deadlock. And yes, Chelsea in possession, and yeah, is that man always a joy to watch with the ball there. Esteval finds himself in the box there, but easily caught out there by the what's it called, by the Ajax defender, and he's currently down there. This is a sight the Chelsea fans and even the Chelsea bench won't really wants to see. He is. He actually took one for, he had to take one there. That was a crazy one there, and probably no. This is not going to be a red card. I don't think VR will be interested in that. And that was a Bats there who got straight into the foot of the Chelsea player Esteval. Chelsea taking the throw-ins quickly there and returns it back into the heart of the midfield. What will Chelsea make out of this? Will it be a cross? But chose to go straight into the middle. Lavia on the ball there, sends it straight to Ato. Ato returns it back and finds Tosin Adarabioyo, the oldest man in the Chelsea team at the age of 28, which looks like a peak age for a defender, but he's the oldest in Chelsea.
Yeah, he's the oldest in Chelsea. It is a testament to the fact that a lot of young players are in this Chelsea setup going into the lines, and the hierarchies has, not really given attention to mixing youngsters with experience. So I think that it will be like that for a long time in Chelsea.
Yeah, it's expected to be like that for a long time. And yeah, we have Ajax making their first substitution. It's a first substitution, and you can see the fans they are in disagreement with that substitution.
Yeah, the coach has to react. It's not about now who is best. It's about who can cover.
Like, yes, he's taking the central midfielder out there. That is Gloch, and throwing in Mokyo into this encounter. I always have this issue when you make this type of substitution. Looking at McConnell, who is on that defensive midfielder, still in that team. I think McConnell should have been able to play along that line in the end.
Yeah, you want to double up in the midfield. You want to choke the midfield. One thing about going a man down is just if you have midfielders that have strength to cover up the spaces and choke up the midfield, it will be easy to build up to attack, because now they need to come back into this one.
Okay, let's see if they can stage that comeback, or will it be Chelsea doubling their lead? Because we can see Chelsea looking heavenly comfortable right there at Stamford Bridge. It's still 1-0 Chelsea leading that encounter. Here's Chelsea in possession. Tosin Adarabioyo finds his teammate there. And what will Chelsea make out of that as a look to attack against them? Ajax taking it slow and steady right now, trying to force Ajax out of their comfort zone on the pitch, and straight onto the wing where he finds Jimmy Gittins, and Gittins on the ball there for Chelsea. What will he make out of that? It takes 1-2 into the box there where it's a chance for a goal there. Well, he went on direct for that goal, and fortunately for Chelsea, he won Chelsea a corner kick in that situation.
You have to give it to him. The way he took on that defender, went straight into the box, went past his marker, and I think he could have just passed that ball rather than go.
I think he went for pass there. Yeah, still Chelsea in possession with this great chance. With that be it, but this time around it's not going to the back of the net from Moises Caicedo. We've seen him take those beautiful hits which fell into the back of the net, but unfortunately this time around it's not going to be a goal for Chelsea. 24 minutes approaching the 25th minute already at Stamford Bridge. 1-0 Chelsea lead against Ajax, and it looks like yes, and it might just be a bad night for Ajax.
Yeah, it might be a bad night for Ajax, but Chelsea will enjoy every minute of it. Goal kick to Ajax at the 25th minute of that encounter. I know Shogun is a Chelsea fan that most likely is smiling from his belly right now, and Chelsea is doing the Lord's work for him, at least at this point, comfortably leading against the opponent, and one goal up, and is Enzo Fernandez, so we're attacking with the ball right now.
I think he had Gittins going or making a run for him.
Yeah, he could have dropped back.
He didn't drop there. It's another long shot there from Esteval. He's never scared of taking those long shots, but unfortunately this time around it's going to be an infringement against Chelsea and a free kick right there to Ajax against Chelsea. It's also in the 25th minute.
Why
Nigerian fans right there in that game between Nigeria and France. It's still 0-0 in that game at the 25th minute. And looking at other centers, Real Madrid against Juventus, 25th minute. It's currently 0-0. Atlanta against Slavia Prague, and 0-0 also in that game. Frankfurt against Liverpool. Frankfurt just got the first goal in that encounter. It's everything is going from bad to worse for the defending champions of the EPL. When we thought on Liverpool had it in them to, win back-to-back EPL, but everything is falling apart for them even after spending lavishly in the transfer window.
Yeah, you don't want to envy Liverpool right now. The place they are is they need to be tough mentally, because I think that maybe you can also think of attributing what is happening to the loss of Diego Jota.
Moses Caicedo will go for goal. That is the second goal for Chelsea. Whenever this man is on the loose and wants to take a shot, you have to be scared of the result, and that result is the second goal for Chelsea against Ajax. As Moses Caicedo starting in an unfamiliar right back position, getting the second goal. What a thunderous shot! And seems anytime this man is on the loose, it's always end up with a goal for Chelsea.
Yeah, he knows how to play those long range shots, and even though some unfamiliar friends, some foes will not be happy with what is happening at the Stamford Bridge, you just have to give it to Moses Caicedo. Look at he picked the spot. Took a deflection.
There was a wicked deflection on
but that was still
you don't give a player like Moses Caicedo, all this time, all this, look at how much time they're giving him there to take his position, and it took a very beautiful shot that there was nothing the goalkeeper Pasva could do about that. And looking at the comment section, please, is the match going to be shown here? I'm sorry, it has to be a watch along program because we don't have that right to show games on YouTube. And also we have got to say God is able. Okay, thanks. Who scored for Nigeria? It's still 0-0 between Nigeria and France on the 17th at the 27th minute, so there's no goal to report in that encounter. We're talking about the game between Chelsea and Ajax, where Chelsea are currently 2 goals up in that game, and also Real Madrid against Juventus. That game is the 27th minute, is 0-0 right now. Bayern Munich against Club Brugge, 2-0 Bayern Munich leading in that encounter. Frankfurt 1-0 up against Liverpool, and that goal was scored by Rasmus Christian right there in at the 26th minute. Sporting Lisbon 0, Olympique Marseille 1, AS Monaco and Tottenham Hotspur. That game is also at the 28th minute. It's currently 0-0. So like I said, the Nigerian game against France on the 17th is currently 0-0 at the 28th minute of that encounter. But the Nigerian girls are currently playing at their full capacity. They've gotten a yellow card in that game, and Shakirat Moshood, who has gotten a yellow card. So I think the manager or the coach needs to talk to her so she can keep a calm, because if the Flamingos rather are going to get a goal, I think Shakirat Moshood has to be the go-to lady for the Nigerian team. And yes, still Chelsea in the box. They're looking to get a third goal without be happening, as they find themselves in the box being sandwiched there by by Ajax. It's going to be a long night for Ajax in this game, though.
Honestly,
at the 28th minute, you can see Chelsea dominating them like this.
Yeah, Chelsea doing what is expected, half-hour mark of the game, and going 2-0 up. Though one man down for Ajax, but when it works for you, you take advantage of it. And yeah, it looks like Chelsea is going to take advantage of this.
Yes, Jimmy Gittins and find himself in the box there, drops a pass to Angel Fernandez. Fernandez with a cross into the box there. Lipped header there from the Chelsea striker Magui there, but fortunately that won't threaten the Ajax goalkeeper Pasva as he gathers that for Ajax. Still 0. There was nothing he could do about the 2 goals conceded in this game. And looking at Atlanta game against Slavia Prague, where it's currently 0-0 at the 31st minute. Now, the current African footballer of the year, who might be, we're surely going to be releasing that title end of this year, because he didn't make it to the I think top 6 or top 10 of top 10 players being released by CAF today. But we have a Nigerian in that list, Victor Osimhen. But he has strong competition from the likes of Gurasi. There's Mohamed Salah, and there's also
that's a penalty.
Looks like it's going to be a penalty to Ajax against Chelsea. Giving that gift to his former opponent. Hope VR won't be interested in this.
So let's see if VR will chop off this one or not. Let's see at the end of the day.
Let's see that again. Was it also? It looks like it was Tosin. It was Tosin Adarabia there. That was Tosin who got his leg into that.
Oh, that's a
That's a
penalty.
penalty. That's a penalty. You don't actually go into tackles like that
You
in
don't
the
go-
box
you
there.
don't go
So there's a lifeline right there for Ajax to get or to reduce the deficit against Chelsea as Tosin Adarabioyo just give out an unnecessary penalty to Ajax, and he has also got himself a yellow card in that process.
Yeah, so penalty to Ajax. We do convert this one 31st, approaching the 32nd minute of the game. It looks like the player is in pain right there. You know, having to stretch yourself after going one man down in that one. And if they get a goal here, it can spur them on to at least get into the game proper. And maybe
That is Amoro, who was actually brought down there by the Chelsea defender. Tosin Adarabioyo was now got himself a yellow card. But this is a lifeline for Ajax to reduce the deficit in this encounter. Let's see if they'll be putting this into the back of the net and getting a goal of themselves, of their own rather, against Chelsea. 31 minutes. Jorgensen will be going up against the Ajax player right there for this penalty. Wells than Weghorst, the experienced man.
Yeah, the experienced man. 1-on-1 against Jorgensen. Can Jorgensen save this one? Maybe or maybe not, but time will tell. So Weghorst moves back and tries to take this one. Can he convert? It's Weghorst, and it's a goal right there.
That is 2-1 in that game. Weghorst with the goal. The Chelsea goalkeeper going the right way, but fortunately looks to be slow to that effect. So it's 2-1 game on in that encounter.
Yeah, it's just like another thing. Most Chelsea concede in games like this. You know, needless penalty, unnecessary penalty at the end of the day. And I think that maybe they will learn from it and do better.
Okay, as it stands right now, it's 2-1 in that game. Chelsea currently leading 2-1 against Ajax, and Bayern Munich leading 2-0 against Club Brugge, and also the Nigerian under-17 girls against France under-17 is currently 0-0 at the 32nd minute of that encounter. So 2-1 right now at the 34th minute of that game between Chelsea and Ajax. Is this a lifeline for Ajax?
Yeah, it is a lifeline, and when you are playing a lot of inexperienced guys, so funny that the most experienced player on the pitch is the one that went in on that kind of tackle and really did what was not expected. But yeah, it's 2-1 already. Let's see how Chelsea will react.
Estevao with the ball there right there. Well, went down to the top voice, back on the pitch, but lost on the ball in the process to the Ajax defender, and it's going from bad to worse for Club Brugge because they've conceded the third goal against Bayern Munich in that encounter, as Bayern Munich were currently leading at the 34th minute, up 3-0 in that game.
And that's expected. You know, Bayern Munich, they go for the kill. And
who's going to tame Bayern Munich? Luis Diaz for the third goal, but they still have Arsenal, and that is a tie I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah,
Arsenal having the best, looking like they have the best defensive setup right now in the world, if not just England alone, but in the world. And you're playing off against Bayern Munich, who are in the form of their life, having the best and most potent attack in Europe right now.
Yeah, that's the kind of fixture you want to see. You want to see the best defense go ahead against one of the best attacks. And yeah, I think it's one game that you just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy every bit of it. And it looks like in the Liverpool game, Jeremy Frimpong has been stretched up for injury
Liverpool
right
just
there.
got an equalizer in that game against Frankfurt. Hugo Ekitike with the equalizer for Liverpool.
Yeah, that's the way to react. You just want to stop that winless one. You just want to come back to your mojo. And what better way than to come back against a team like Ajax Frankfurt that they can fancy their chances against.
What a way to come back in that one. And that one showing that he deserves to start for Liverpool, having been dropped on in the last game for Alexander Isak. And that looks like the major headache for the manager and the slot. Having Isak and having Hugo Ekitike in the same setup.
Yeah, that's a good headache as far as I'm concerned. It's a good headache for the manager. You just want your players to be in the form of their life, and yes, you have the headache to pick, not like a team that is going down. So I think that Chelsea, Liverpool will find their way back, but it might take time. When is what I don't know.
Okay, when is what he doesn't that is what Yemite doesn't really know, and that means Ekatike scored against just his former club, Eintracht Frankfurt, and that was the team he joined on Liverpool from.
Yeah, he just played, I think, a season with Eintracht Frankfurt, and they got 95 million for him. I think he has paid his dues. He's free to score
Who's a
against
striker
them.
right now? So maybe Chelsea should be going for their next striker.
But
I do have problem with some strikers from what's it called, Frankfurt. You look at Kolomwani, he hasn't really, he hasn't
being
really
himself.
He has been
But
himself.
even a good KKTK is still early days in his Liverpool
Okay, the next
career.
one right there, we're starting as a 9 for them, has to be Knopf. So whoever is in need of a 9, you can always back on Eintracht Frankfurt. They know how to get those big money for their strikers.
doesn't
Yes, so
always work that
37th
way.
minute in that game between Nigeria on the 17th female team and France is still 0-0. We're expecting the first goal in that encounter. I really want to see Nigeria getting the victory. That's me talking like as a Nigerian right there. You might just be Chelsea's third goal in that encounter. But Pasva won't allow that to pass him by and actually grab that. And it looks like Gitty is
Looking dangerous.
his crosses are looking dangerous when coming into the box.
Yeah, it looks dangerous. His movement, being trickery. I think he's really looking like he's improving his game and he's doing a whole lot better than he used to be. And we always want to see that Gittins we saw at Bayern Munich.
It looks like now
Chelsea's
there's
playing that
blood
one.
going on right there at the Stamford Bridge as on Wiggles. And this man needs to be careful talking about Tosin Adarabioyo.
I think he needs to be careful, but I don't think this is one thing that
Let's
he
see that
did
again.
intention.
Are you sure?
His eyes was on
Let's
the
see that,
ball.
let's see that, let's
He
see that.
wanted to drop and he didn't. I think his sight was not there.
Mm.
I think this won't be a second yellow
I
card.
just hope this won't be a second yellow card for the Chelsea centre back, because Chelsea in the last 5 games there have been at least one player getting a red card.
And
Even
this
the manager,
looks more like it.
even the manager got a red card.
Yeah, even the manager. The game that the team refused to get a red card, the manager made sure he complimented it for
Okay,
them.
let's say VR are interested in having a view of what went down between Tosin Adarabioyo and Wiggles there. But I don't really expect it to be a yellow card because it doesn't look intentional there from the Chelsea defender Tosin Adarabioyo, who is yet to make up his mind about where he's going to play his international future. Where his international future actually lies. Nigerians really love
I
to
think
see
he
him play
has
for
made
Nigeria.
up his mind. It's about changing his mind. He has always wanted to represent the Three Lions, and looking like age is counting, and he's playing for Chelsea Football Club. Maybe he will switch allegiance. One thing that can make him switch allegiance easily has to be the FIFA World Cup.
Wow, it took Liverpool just 4 minutes to get 2 goals and turn the tide over against Frankfurt, because Liverpool currently now leads 2-1 in that game. And is the captain of Virgil van Dijk, who rose highest at the 39th minute to give Liverpool the lead in that encounter. When we thought it was going from bad to worse for them, they came back to remind us why they are Liverpool and why they are the current champions of the APL. So it's Liverpool 2, Frankfurt 1 right there in Germany. So it's still 0-0 in that game between Atlanta and Slavia Prague at the 40th minute. Real Madrid against Juventus is still 0-0, and also Tottenham Hotspur away at AS Monaco is 0-0. Sporting Lisbon are currently losing 1-0 against Olympique Marseille, while the Nigeria under 17 game against France is currently at the 39th minute, approaching the 40th minute. It's still 0-0 between Nigeria and France, and Nigeria needs to get a victory in this one.
Yeah, Nigeria needs to get a victory after losing that first game. And looking at the way the game is going, it looks like Nigeria is going to struggle.
And looking at the first game between Nigeria and Canada, yes,
yeah.
the first half ended on 1-1 between both sides. And come into the second half, they really let themselves down and considered 3 unnecessary goals. I think I have a problem with the goalkeeper Boniface, who
in female football,
I saw some goals in that second half. I was like, seriously, but it's a female football.
Yeah, that's
and
one
under
thing.
17 for that matter.
Under 17 female football, you see a whole lot of goals you want to forget in our way, and you just have to look at it and just cut them some slack. Over time, they will go into the game.
Okay, congratulations to fellow African neighboring countries. I'm talking about Morocco for winning the under 20 men World Cup. It was done for Morocco. You can see the talent coming in and talking about being intentional. about progress of football in your country?
Yeah, being intentional. You look at the structure, look at the development. I think it was a 10 years plan or thereabout, and I don't think it's up to 10 years yet, and they are reaping
They are
the
going to
fruits of
dominate
it.
Africa.
Honestly, almost every tournament, 5 years now, they are going to be hosting the under 17. I think over 5 years. And look at Africa, emergency tournament straight to Morocco. It's like an auto host, and that will do a whole lot of good for their economy at the end of the day.
Okay, yes, it's going to do a whole lot of good for Morocco's economy. They'll be looking to winning the African Cup of Nations, also being hosted by Morocco come December. 60 days away from now, we'll be having the African Cup of Nations right there in Morocco. Can Hakimi and his teammates go on to lift on the revered African competition, where they'll be having the Super Eagles of Nigeria as a stumbling block?
Yeah, let's see if they can.
Chance for Ajax on second goal, but that touch was too much, and the control was actually too heavy there. But there was an offside down decision there, so it wouldn't have really counted if that has fallen into the path of Saulo there. So it's still 2-1 right there at the 42nd minute of that game between Chelsea and Ajax at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea leading 2-1 against 10-man Ajax. Ajax reducing the deficit. Goal scored by Wiggles from the penalty spots.
Yeah, goal scored by Wiggles at the end of the day. Yes, let's see if there'll be more goals at the Stamford Bridge. Chelsea leading 2-1. Moses Caicedo with the ball right now. Tries to look at Estevao, the Brazilian wonder kid who crossed into the box. Oh, I look at everybody.
Should be approaching that.
Yeah,
I think
Enzo.
No, Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo should be doing better.
Enzo should be doing better there. He should be approaching that ball earlier on. More early than that.
Yeah, earlier than that. And I think you could do better.
No, that was Enzo. I think it was even Gittins who actually slipped off on the far end.
Yeah, but you can't blame him. He doesn't want to get into an offside position also. So a long ball forward from Ajax, headed down by Fofana, but straight to August. August for Ajax finds his teammate in the middle, and Ajax trying to look like they are growing into that game. One thing, when you give your opponent chance to come back, they want to take it very well.
I think if I'm Ajax, one thing I'll be telling Wiggles in the dressing room is try to frustrate Tosin Adarabioyo into those tackles and probably get a red card. But would not also to be a gentle giant. He's calm and calculative in doing when doing his defensive work. Yes, Ajax in possession, returns it back to Pasva. Pasva, the goalkeeper, looks inward into the midfield, lost possession. It's Chelsea, but Ajax winning the ball back in the middle of the park. They looks to attack against Chelsea. And onto the wing there, they move straight into the path, and they look to attack against the Blues, but Chelsea wins the ball back and looks to go forward. Gittins in possession. What we Gittins make out of these approaches on the Ajax box, he has an Ajax defender to beat and sends the one into the path of Enzo Fernandez. Is that be a penalty?
That's a penalty
to Chelsea. A chance for Chelsea's third goal. And Wiggles, the striker, this time around, dashing out a penalty to Chelsea.
Let's see what VR will say at the end of the day concerning that tackle. But hey, it's funny how
let's look at this penalty. There's no Cole Palmer on the pitch, just not João Pedro, but we have Gittins who's still looking for his first goal, and we also have Estevao who might be interested.
That's a penalty.
Estevao might be interested in these. Enzo Fernandez is also a fantastic penalty taker.
A penalty.
What do you think will be taking it?
Yeah, I think as far as I'm concerned, it will be Enzo Fernandez.
Yes, it's left to see who will be taking this penalty, and a chance for Chelsea to go back into leading by 2 goals in this encounter at the 45th minute. John Ettinger are not really convinced, and it's that man, Enzo Fernandez, will be standing on this.
Yeah, Enzo Fernandez, the Argentine World Cup winner and Club World Cup winner at the age of, I think, 23, 24. Yeah, so will you convert this one against the Ajax? Shot stopper right there, 45th minute of action at the Stamford Bridge. Enzo Fernandez, penalty situation against the Ajax goalkeeper. Will you convert? It looks like it converts at the end of the day. So 3-1
that was a cold and calm penalty taken by Enzo Fernandez, and what a leadership quality he possesses.
Yeah, leadership. I have to give it to him that he stayed with Chelsea, and right now I think he's one of those leaders you look up to.
Okay, seems like everything is going from bad to worse right there for Ajax. Considering the third goal against Chelsea in this encounter. Look at that penalty from Enzo Fernandez. There was nothing the goalkeeper could do about that. He stretched the goalkeeper out there for Chelsea's third goal from the spot there. Argentine Enzo Fernandez with the third goal. And you can see the match manager there, Enzo Maresca. Yes. happy on the bench there.
Yeah, he has to be happy. That's extra goal cushion on that one, and it looks like Liverpool
Liverpool are
has
going.
extended.
Liverpool are extending their lead in that one against Frankfurt. Is now Liverpool 3, Frankfurt 1 in that account. What a game we are currently having at Frankfurt in that account. Ibrahima Konate with the third goal at the 44th minute. Still 0-0 in that one between Real Madrid and Juventus. We also have 0-0 to report in that game between Atalanta and Slavia Praha, and also 0-0 between AS Monaco and Tottenham Hotspur. Is 1-0. Marseille leading away from home against Sporting Lisbon. Nigeria 0-0 at the 45th minute against the French under 17 team. So if you've picked on the whole first half of the UEFA Champions League over 1.5, sorry to say, you might just be thinking of a lost ticket right now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like what happened yesterday. What happened today? We saw a whole lot of goals yesterday.
You don't get that every day in the UEFA Champions
Yeah,
League.
you don't get it.
Half time already in that game between Bayern Munich and Club Brugge, where Bayern Munich are taking a 3-0 lead into the halftime, and also at 45th minute plus game in that game between Real Madrid and Juventus. This is currently 0-0. Atlanta against Slavia Praha at the 45th plus minute is also 0-0. Liverpool against Frankfurt away from home. Liverpool are returning to winning ways in this game for the first time in 5 games. They are currently leading Frankfurt 1-3, but it's just the first half. Anything can happen in the second half.
I don't think anything will happen in that game any longer. Liverpool will want to close shop and do the needful in that one, and that's the way to come
Wiggles
back.
also needs to be careful. You can see the elbow straight at the face of the Chelsea defender there.
Fofana.
Wesley Fofana. He needs to also be careful. It seems the emotions are now getting the better of him.
Yeah, of course, emotions will get him on a wet ground.
It's a free kick to Ajax.
Yeah, free kick to Ajax at the end of the day, but emotions will get to them. Wet day in the office, also a man down. They have to give extra, and it will take a lot from them.
Okay, as we will be seeing the free kick from Ajax right now against Chelsea. Will they be getting one goal back also from this and reduce the deficit? A long one into the Chelsea box. But it's that is a poor control from the Ajax midfielder right there. Looking at ball possession or match overview right now, is Chelsea dominating ball possession with 60% of the ball, while Ajax have been reduced to just 40% of the ball. 3 big chances for Chelsea, 3 goals for Chelsea in this game, 9 total shots for the Blues in this one, just 2 total shots for Ajax in this encounter.
Yeah, looks like a game that Chelsea has really dominated. Expectedly, the odds favor Chelsea at the end of the day, and so it looks like it's a spectacular game.
All right, it's also halftime in that game between AS Monaco and Tottenham Hotspur. It's 0-0 at halftime, and also halftime between Nigeria under 17 and France under 17. It's currently 0-0 in that encounter. Also, and also we've seen Marcel also gotten a red card in the first half of that encounter.
Yeah, not so the sight they want to see a red card in that one.
It's Emerson who got that red card.
Yeah, let's see how far they can hold down against a team like, and that's another penalty.
And another penalty for Chelsea against Ajax. It's not going from bad to worse for Ajax in this encounter. 2 penalty under 5 minutes in this encounter.
Wow, unnecessary penalty to concede.
It seems the players they gave up already.
Honestly,
and that was Bass giving out that, and you can see Johnny Tinga, who was a defender in his own days.
Look at how he pushed it, and that's a stamp.
I think it was the first one.
That's a stamp. It was a stamp. Look at that stamp.
Even the first one was worthy of a penalty, and he went back up and.
That's a stamp.
Exactly the same penalty. I think almost in the same fashion with the penalty Ajax got. And here's Enzo Fernandez. Yes, that is a sportsmanship. It's a sign of sportsmanship right there,
and
from
leadership
the Chelsea,
also
from the Chelsea captain. Giving it to the young Esteval for his first UEFA Champions League goal at the age of 18.
Yeah, at the age of 18, it can be one hell of a team.
Let's see who's going to score that. Getting the penalty is one, and putting it into the back of the net is another. Esteval against Pasva. Will he pass over Pasva in this situation or this moment? And yes, we have left to say if the young Brazilian can pull this into the back of the net. Esteval for Chelsea takes on his run, and as the time it and it's into the back of the net. That is a ferocious shots there from the 18 years old, not giving the goalkeeper any chance of saving that.
And that's the way to go. When you take chances like that, you have to just put it and bury it where the goalkeeper won't have a chance at the end of the day. Yeah.
All right, it's halftime in various centers right now, except the Chelsea game where Chelsea are currently leading 4-1 at halftime. At first half, sorry, I would have thought of that, but it's against 10-man Ajax in that game. Bayern Munich are going straight into the halftime break, 3-0 up against Club Brugge, and also Real Madrid 0-0 against Juventus at halftime. Atlanta against Slavia Prague is currently 0-0 at halftime. Liverpool taking a 1-3 lead even after first going up behind that game. That's take a 3-1 lead into the halftime break. Sporting Lisbon 0, Marseille 1, but Sporting Lisbon will be having a whole lot in the second half because Marseille has also been reduced to 10-man in the first half, so they'll have to play the next 45 minutes without Emerson in that account. AS Monaco 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Nigeria 0, France 0 at halftime. We have a whole lot to analyze at the halftime break, so stay with us on Premier Sports Fan Center as Chelsea and Ajax. Chelsea will be taking a 4-1 lead into halftime.
Yeah, Chelsea 4-1 lead. It's halftime already in that center, and expectedly you see that is a game that Chelsea should be taking out 3 points today, and it looks like that at the end of the day. But at halftime, maybe the coach will decide to experiment more.
Well, I think I also expect Gittins to get a goal this season. He needs that goal to try and reduce down the pressure on him.
Yeah, he needs that goal. He needs to, at least after that, confidence going forward in the season, and I think with that he can continue from there.
Okay, that goal scored by Harry Kane is his 20th goal this season, and 21 goal contributions for Bayern Munich this season. Really, really a ferocious striker.
You have to talk about Harry Kane and Erling Haaland. The two guys are really, really doing what they are expected to do, and it's going to be a really longer tug of war between the two, for if injuries allow, between the two for the golden boots for you.
Okay, what about Kylian Mbappe? Mbappe is also somewhere right there.
Yeah, Mbappe too.
Goals
Also, you have to bring Mbappe into the situation, but Mbappe is not that out for out number 9, so you just have to think about the out and out number 9, Harry Kane and Erling Haaland, because Mbappe actually usually drops deep to get the ball, but when you talk about Harry Kane and Haaland, they just know the positioning, get the support cast, and do the finish.
Talking about those two strikers, Erling Haaland and Harry Kane, these are strikers that putting the ball, they know the measurement of the post wherever they are within the box. We saw Erling Haaland with one goal yesterday, and Erling Haaland, I call him a karate striker. Yeah, any angle, don't let him approach the ball. But he wants to hit it.
But for me, I prefer an Harry Kane striker than Erling Haaland. As far as I'm concerned, if it was Harry Kane that went to Man City that time where Daniel Levy refused to give Man City, it would have been one hell of a striker, because Harry Kane is, you just have to look at his build-up. He has all-round play than Erling Haaland, as far as I'm concerned. He can drop into the number 8, number 10, also do the assist.
Play behind there, what's it called? Nicholas Jackson, starting 11 for Bayern Munich. Talking about Nicholas Jackson, still struggling to get his first goal for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but
I think they'll be making that loan deal permanent.
I doubt it. I think it's just because it will be too expensive if he doesn't get a number of goals. And one thing about it also, it is a blessing in disguise for Chelsea. A player that is misfiring, getting to go and understudy Harry Kane. So it will be
him coming back to Chelsea, and Chelsea welcoming him. Looking at this, the way he left Chelsea, the situation, it looks like every bond was broken between these two sides.
I don't think every bond is broken yet. Chelsea got what they wanted, and Nicolas Jackson got what he wanted. So it's just like a marriage made from heaven, and let's see what next season will bring.
Are they missing him at Chelsea?
No.
Do you want him back at Chelsea?
It's not about wanting him back now. It's about what he will do in Bayern. Let him understudy, grow. Because one thing I know about Nicolas Jackson is that he is one hell of a team player, but it's just that keep your head calm, concentrate and finish. It's just that finishing. If you can get his head down and finish, It will be 1-0. It will be like that Salah that left Chelsea and became another Salah entirely at Liverpool.
So you think there's still future for Harry Kane? For
Nicolas
Jackson?
Yeah, I think there's a
just
future.
left to say if there's
He's
still
on
future.
loan, so actually there's still
Bayern
future.
Munich currently leading 3-0 against Club Brugge at the first half. And looking at the statistics, they've dominated in ball possession, 64%. If there's one thing Bayern knows how to do best, is dominating in front of play. And Club Brugge without the Nigerian midfielder Rafael Yedika, probably that's why they're suffering so much today. I've also been reduced to to 36% of the ball possession. 3 big chances for Bayern Munich in this encounter and 3 goals for them in that game. 11 total shots from them in this first half alone.
Yeah, 11 total shots. That's what you.
That is one thing. Even some teams muster out in the whole of the game.
Yeah, you have to look at the firepower they have up front. And when they went all out for Luis Diaz, also you have to look at it that they are one team that the intent is real and they want to really dominate Europe. And with this squad, with Michael Olise and that from barring maybe injuries or anything, oh my goodness.
Olise was it was ranked 30th on the Ballon d'Or list.
I don't agree
and
with
I
that
actually
list.
felt yes.
It could
probably
have
there wasn't much maybe there wasn't much PR for Michael Olise last season, because I think if the Barcelona young prodigy Lamine Yamal is ending up as the second, I think Olise also deserves
to be in the top
1
10.
to 10.
Yeah, I think Olise did a whole lot last season than to be on 30, and to know that he's a French international, I think he could have got a better spot. But you know, all these things is about
Olise in
PR.
Real Madrid. Olise in
It's
Real
about
Madrid
politics.
in a big club with I'm sorry to say Bayern Munich is also a big club, but Bayern Munich, I don't think they really do that PR for players. They don't see them pushing their players and the way other clubs does.
As far as I'm concerned, this kinds of award should be reward for excellence. So there's no need to
You can see the way Barcelona were pushing Lamine Yamal. Even I thought Rafinha actually carried Barcelona more last season.
That's what I'm saying. That I don't think a lot of this award has lost its essence as far as I'm concerned, because you are giving to the best. It's not about the most publicized. It's about the best. So you should rate the best,
But
not about the most publicized.
It's not a jury pick. It's a vote.
It's a vote, yes, but I think there should be an amendment in their constitution for picking whoever. We've seen a whole lot of drama.
If it goes to jury pick, people will still disagree.
But Michael Olise at 30, no, that's not fair.
It's actually far off and straight away.
It should be close to
straight away
Kopama.
from the game between Bayern Munich and Club Brugge, where Bayern Munich are currently leading 3-0. Probably we'll be seeing Nicolas Jackson come into that game at early stages of the second half. Or we go straight to our focus match. That is the game between Chelsea and Ajax. Chelsea 4, Ajax 1. And do you think that red card was what really cost Ajax this embarrassing scoreline in the first half?
I think the embarrassing scoreline, yes, but would they be down even if they are full men on board? I think they will still
Probably
be
those
down.
2 penalties would have happened.
Maybe, but
Because they would have looked a bit tidy.
in the defense, and their leader would have been on the field of play. So it's like a plus or minus for them, because they had to just shrink into more defensive mode. Maybe if they full men, they would have gone all out and maybe concede more.
Okay, and looking at still on the game between Chelsea and Ajax after leading 4-1. Looking at the Chelsea bench, I think we have some interesting name on the bench who might be coming into that game in the second half. Robert Sanchez, I don't expect him coming into this game, but we have the young Max Merrick on the bench. There's Marco Correa, there's Trevor Chalobah, Reece James. Reece James, I don't expect him to come into this game because looking at this weekend game against Sunderland without Malo Gusto, who is going to serve a one-match ban for that record. So I don't really expect Reece James coming into this game. Josh Achipong, yes, probably might be coming in. There's Pedro Neto, there's Andre Santos, we have Tyreek George and Reggae Wash, and this young interesting talent Ryan Kavuma McQueen. That is the name Chelsea fans to actually watch out for. That guy is a promising player. And we also have Alejandro Garnacho on the bench.
Yeah, I think probably Garnacho for Gittins might be for the second half. Maybe Garnacho to have a feel of the action, and maybe for defensive solidity. maybe Josh Archipong.
Okay, as maybe Josh Archipong coming in for Chelsea in that counter come second half. As left to see if Chelsea will be making that substitution. Real Madrid against Juventus 0-0. Anything to report on that game?
Yeah, no, not really, but I think it's a game that Madrid will still have to take at the end of the day. 2 games ultimatum for Igor Tudor, the coach Tudor, the coach of Juventus, and I think that at last at Bibana maybe it's just 1 or 2-0. I think.
And looking at the overview and statistics, I think Madrid will be feeling, or they'll be having themselves to blame, not going up 1 or 2 goals up in the first half. They've dominated on play, 71% of ball possession to Real Madrid, just barely 29 to Juventus in this encounter. And looking at the total shot, 14 total shots to Real Madrid and barely 3 to Juventus in the first half.
Yeah, barely 3 to Juventus, and I think that it is one thing that
9 corner kicks in the first half to Madrid. To Juventus. First half we're having 11 corner kicks.
Yeah, you have to talk about that because it's one thing that Real Madrid will have to be licking their wounds and say, if they had converted more, maybe they'll be 1 or 2-0 up.
Let's see if they'll be looking more prolific or clinical in front of goal come second half. Marcelo are currently 1 goal up against Sporting Lisbon, but they'll be playing the next 45 minutes with 1 man down. Marcelo got a red card in the first half. Anyway, back into this game for Sporting Lisbon.
I don't think. I think they can come back with one man down situation in their favor. So I think the road is open for them to come back. But will they take it is another thing entirely.
Okay, as it's left to see if Real Madrid will be taking that opportunity in the second half and getting more clinical in front of goal. The Nigerian game against France under 17, 0-0 at halftime. The girls are back on the pitch for the second half.
Yeah, they are back. Let's see if they can get 1 over their opponent, because it's very, very important in the race to qualify for the next round of that tournament in Morocco. They need to do better.
Okay, this is them getting a victory in this game.
Not really.
Just probably, just do it anyway.
With the way they considered,
just get 1 victory in that game.
With the way they considered.
But the goalkeeper was tried in the first half. She hasn't considered anything.
Yeah, that's the first half. They tried also in the first half of Canada game. And second
let's look at the statistics of that game at the end of first half. We'll be coming back to check how the ladies actually fared in the first half of that game between them and France under 17. Also, one game I also have my eye on has to be the game between Frankfurt and Liverpool. Frankfurt's trailing 1-3 against Liverpool.
Yeah, it's a game that you saw how Frankfurt demolished Galatasaray at home. You feel like, maybe they are one team that is difficult to break down at home. But to see how Liverpool has come back into that one, went 3-1 up, I think that it's going to be a long night for Ajax from Fata at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Liverpool can maybe end their losing streak with Frankfurt and look up to the weekend for the next fixture, and El Clasico also
coming up this weekend. Yes, promises to be interesting right there in the Spanish La Liga, as Barcelona will be lining up against their biggest rival, talking about Real Madrid. That is a game everybody has their eyes on this weekend. Real Madrid looks like this season is looking good for them, topping the table and also having Barcelona on their neck.
Yeah, topping the table, Barcelona on their heels, and maybe I think it's just a 2 point or thereabout. So I think that is one El Clasico you want to look forward to. You want to see them perform at the end of the day. I just want to enjoy football, and football at least deciding who is fair to take that one at the end of the day.
Okay, still big second half to come out around the Europe rather, as we are waiting for the players to return to the pitch for the big second half. What are your expectations for this game between Chelsea and Ajax? Because it looks like the game has stopped being a context.
Yeah, score a lot of more goals.
More goals in the second half?
Yeah, more goals because of the table. It's a table format, and goal difference matters a whole lot after losing that first one against Bayern Munich. And it's a whole lot better when you're in the top 8 than when you're in the top 24.
Mhm. Okay, yes, and also the Nigerian ladies, what are your expectations for the second half? It's still 0-0 as we currently speak.
Yeah, the Nigerianness in me wants the Super Falconet, the Falconets to win, but hey, can they withhold the firepower of the French? Do they really deserve it at the end of the day? So it's another topic right there, but hey, be that as it may, I still want them to win.
Okay, so the Nigeria Inos actually wants Nigeria to get a victory over the French ladies in that account. As it stands right now, that game is on the 49th minute and it's still 0-0 between Nigeria and France. The Chelsea players are back on the pitch and ready to go for the next for the second 45 minutes of that encounter. Real Madrid against Juventus. Yes, the second half of that game has kick-started and already in the 48th minute. And Bayern Munich against Club Brugge, and that game is already in the 50th minute, which means we've seen about 5 minutes of second half action in that encounter. Liverpool against Frankfurt, also the second half has kick-started already in that encounter. Also, your expectations from most of those games?
Yeah, I think on the Real Madrid win in that one, and maybe Bayern extend their goal.
Is this Chelsea preparing 3 substitutions?
Yeah, 3 full substitutions. Chalobah, Andre Santos, and Tyron George, the 3 guys are about to come on for Chelsea.
Oh, that looks like maybe Gittins will be withdrawn. Let's see if Gittins will be one of those top players to be withdrawn by Chelsea as halftime substitutions. Tyreek George, another interesting name. He was almost sold to to Fulham.
Fulham, yeah.
But it still looks like probably he'll be making that move to Fulham.
Yeah, I think it needs it. It needs a team that afford him more playing time that can go in between. You know, it's just paperwork that made that move fail at the end of the day. But I think over time, maybe he will just be taking that move.
Okay, as it's left to say, we also have the Chelsea players, Fernandez, Adarabioyo, and Gui being withdrawn. It looks like Gui might be starting on Saturday for Chelsea against against Sunderland. Looks like he finally merits a chance of starting for Chelsea. Okay, yes, we have the Nigerian games. The Nigerian game currently in the second half, also going on right now at the under-17 competition. The Super Flamingos of Nigeria will be looking to get the first goal in that game. They are really trying against the French opponents, but he's wanting to try and he's wanting to also get that needed goal. So that is what the Nigerian girls are trying to do against the French side, and France doing a lot of defensive work against the Nigerian side. The Nigerian side are attacking against France right now in the middle of the park there. Nigeria in possession over the ball in that encounter. Let's see if the girls can get one in that game. 52 minutes gone in that game between Nigeria and France. It's still 0-0, but the girls are looking really sharp in that game as they look to attack, but the finishing has really let them down in this game. France in possession comes out against the Nigerian girls right now. Sends it onto the wing where we have Saika. Right, Saika with a long one tries to play in Ruffin. Ruffin on the ball there for France. What she make out of that? Sends it back into the middle of the park. France looking to attack against Nigeria, but Nigeria back in possession. Couldn't hold on to it. Shakirat Moshood, which playing at a second under 17 competition, couldn't hold on to that for Nigeria. And back into the part of Saika. This time around, it's not Saka that plays for Arsenal. It's a younger Saika who plays for the French under 17 female team. And into the game between Chelsea, we've seen 3 substitutions from Chelsea, and looks like these 3 players who were withdrawn at halftime, probably they are being penciled down for that game between Chelsea and Sunderland. What do you think?
Yeah, most likely they are penciled down. And you have to talk about, I think Tosin was withdrawn
Due to that yellow card?
yellow card, and the other guys maybe have a feel of the action. You know, we spoke about that before during the halftime break. So
Yeah.
I think it's expected.
Okay, Enzo Fernandez being withdrawn out, being replaced by Andre Santos, and we have Magui also being withdrawn and replaced by Tyreek George, who is a winger. But we've seen him, he also has a terrific shots in some
yeah.
goal. Okay, so it's currently still 4-1 that game between Chelsea and Ajax at the 47th minute. And that means we've seen 1 minute of action in the second half, and still 0-0. But the French ladies are also preparing 2 substitutions in that game between France and Nigeria. We'll be seeing the number 5 and also the number 20 being thrown into that game. So let's see if France can
and
get
Chelsea just
that.
made
And
it
Chelsea
5.
just made it 5 in that game. Tyreek George, what an immediate impact from the Cobham Academy.
Yeah, immediate impact. See the Cobham, one of the Cobham Academy
Graduates.
products. Yeah.
Yeah, what a go there from him. Is he going to leave Chelsea come end of the season?
Most likely, he should.
So even with the goal, you don't expect him to stay.
Yeah, I think he should. You know, he's at the stage whereby he needs more playing time. So if he can get more playing time, then he should command a better sign-on fee.
Okay, he should command a better sign of it. Look at that. Look at the movement there, the lay down there. Another deflected goal for against what's it called? Against Ajax in this game.
Yeah, another deflection into the back of the net. 2 deflections right now, 2 penalties, and it's just a night that they want to forget.
Okay, I'm very sure the Ajax players will be hoping this night can just end as soon as possible, but they have to wait a bit because right now we're just getting into the 49th minute. Still about 40 minutes to play in this game, and this first ending from its contest. And right now we see Moses Caicedo also being withdrawn. Like I rightly said, I'll be expecting Josh Archipong to be coming into this game, and that is who the Chelsea manager talking about Enzo Maresca has just thrown into this encounter right now.
I'm waiting to see the role he wants for Josh.
I think he'll be settling straight into the right back position, which is his regular position also.
Yeah, well, let's say at the end of the day, well, it's actually his natural role. I think he can adapt easily in that role. But I think it could have been a lot better if he had played in the center half to get more acclimatized with that role, since that is where the manager really wants to see him at the end of it.
Yes, Chelsea attacking and straight onto the part of Esteval. Esteval will hold on to the ball, returns it back to Josh Archipong, and Josh Archipong finds Wesley Fofana, and Fofana holds onto the ball for Chelsea. What will he make out of that? And looks out wide, but still holds onto it and finds his centre back pair there. It's Chelsea in possession. Archipong with the ball there, finds himself in the Ajax half, goes out wide, finds Esteval. Esteval returns it back to Josh. Josh comes forward with the ball there, returns it back and finds his Chelsea teammate. And yes, Chelsea opening up on position space in there. Beautifully done there by Gittins. What will he make out of that? Drops it straight onto the path of his Chelsea teammate. Another long shot there. This time around, Romeo Lavia won't be getting his goal for Chelsea. And that should be a corner kick to Chelsea.
Yeah, I think that should be a corner kick to Chelsea.
Oh, took a deflection there.
Yeah. So corner kick to Chelsea at the 51st minute of that one. Yeah, everybody wants to get a piece of the cake at this point in time.
There's a national cake on the table right now to be shared, and everybody wants to have a piece of it.
Yeah,
these are the kind of game you just start pad and get those goals and coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, right now it's still 3-0 in that game between Bayern Munich and Club Brugge. That game is on the 5th or 7th minute already, and okay, it's going to be a free kick to Ajax against Chelsea at the 52nd minute. And it's still 0-0 between Nigeria and France in that game at the 57th minute. This Saka has really been a big problem. It seems every lady behind that Saka is really good. And the Nigerian player there, that is the captain, Shakirat Moshood, who is on a yellow card, needs to be really careful. And really needs to time her tackles very well, because she has just given out a free kick to France in what looks like a dangerous situation. And looking at the fact that we don't have a very good, reliable goalkeeper, that's what France makes out of this corner kick, as they'll be sending an in-swinger into the box. We have about 4 France players in the box there. And yeah, he's in number 5 sends one into the box with a very chance, but Nigeria clears the lines against the French ladies, but still France in possession. Saka with the ball there, and she sends a long one into the box, finds the French teammate. Yeah, might just bridge chance for France to get one in this game. Unfortunately, that will be going to the back of the net. A long shot there, and that sails off wide the Nigerian goalpost. And back to the Chelsea game, where Chelsea currently 5 up against Ajax, but it's 5-1, not 5-0.
Yeah, 5-star performance from Chelsea
How
right
you
there.
call that 5-star performance?
Yeah, so Chelsea leading 5-1 at the Stamford Bridge. Wow. Who would have thought by this time that Chelsea will be in the driver's seat, comfortably leading?
I actually
this
expected
one.
Chelsea to lead or to win this game against Ajax.
Yeah, but not this
looked good. They've
comfortable.
not looked good in the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah,
this season.
not just the UEFA Champions League,
Even the
all round in the league, they've not really looked like they're in the best shape right there. And I think losing the league, I think on the last day or thereabout last season, will take a toll on them. The manager had to just step aside. And I think that it was an error to let that manager go. I think they should have kept him at the end.
Okay, as a back in play is Ajax in possession. Itakura right there holding onto the ball for Ajax as a look out to stage a comeback against Chelsea in this one. Let's see if that is possible. Esteval in possession, holds onto the ball there and playing his first over 50 minutes for Chelsea. UEFA Champions League, taking out and buys in and out, finds himself in the Ajax box there, and that looks more selfish to me. Buys with the ball there and takes a long one into the middle of the park. Will it be Chelsea regaining possession? Yes, sends that back into the part of Chelsea.
Yeah, Fofana with the ball right now. We link up his teammate at the heart of the defense, Chalobah, and Chelsea looks so comfortable.
Yeah, they're so relaxed in this game. I really want to see one of these young talents coming into this game, and probably getting his debut. So if one is going to come in, it might just be Reggae Wash, who we've seen, in lots of times playing in the Conference League for Chelsea. And that is a player who is also comfortable with the ball, even at the age of 17. So it's left to see if he'll be coming into this game.
The funniest thing you just have to look at is Chelsea now look like a development team, where you develop talent and you sell at the end of the day.
It might just be a chance for France to get one into this game and find himself in the box with this big goal for France. Really good defensive work there from the Nigerian defender. Saka on the ball there, loses possession. Shakira and Moshood on the ball for this Flamingos of Nigeria, looks to attack and steals on the ball, but really returns it back to Taiwo, the captain. A long one into the middle of the park, but still France in possession. Returns it back to the center back as they also look to attack against the Flamingos of Nigeria. I don't know why the Super Falcons still keeps on coming straight into my mouth.
Yeah, because you love the Super Falcons so much, and they've given us a whole lot to cheer at the end of the day.
Finally, we have Real Madrid with their first goal in that game against Juventus. Jude Bellingham at the 57th minute, really giving Real Madrid the first goal in that one.
Yeah, what a player! One of the most complete player in world football right now. Jude Bellingham. You just have to one of the go-to guys for Real Madrid this season.
Still at the 60th minute rather in that one between Nigeria and France. It's still 0-0, and the Nigerian girls are really doing everything possible to try and get one goal. And we can see the manager Bankole Olowo Kere, if I'm not mistaken, right there preparing one substitution for the Flamingos. It has already been a big midfield battle between Nigeria and France in this encounter. France will look to attack against Nigeria right now as it finds themselves in the Nigerian box. There's still Nigeria doing defensive work there, but still into the parts of France. Roofing on the ball there, returns it back to Saka, and Saka with the ball there takes out Nigerian opponent and sends a cross, an inviting cross into the box, easily caught out there by the Nigerian centre back as Nigeria looks to attack, and we had Joseph had to come back and win the ball for the Flamingos. Esteval has just gotten a yellow card in that game between Chelsea and Ajax.
Yeah, Esteban.
Probably this should be 60 minutes of action already. Probably the Chelsea manager should be looking at resting Esteval.
Yeah, I think it needs to be withdrawn with the way it looks, and a yellow card. Yeah, I think he'll be missing the game against Barcelona there. But
Nigeria was very lucky not to consider. Look at the goalkeeper. Where was she? But for the glory be to God, Adebayo had to just come to the rescue for Nigeria there. That was what I was talking about, the goalkeeper. Well, it's under 17. Things like this happens.
Yeah, things like this happen at the end of the day. And yes,
Boniface is not burning the face tonight.
And it looks like the goalkeeper is down right there.
She's currently down. If the first choice goalkeeper is this poor,
I cannot talk about the second choice.
All right, back to our Pokemon match, which is the game between Chelsea and Ajax, where Chelsea currently lead 5-1 at the 5th or 7th minute, of it, barely 3 minutes away from 1 hour football at the Stamford Bridge. It's 5-1, they currently lead. Liverpool against Frankfurt at the 60th minute. It's Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 3. Marcel still defending and holding out strong against Sporting Lisbon, even though Emerson got a red card in the first half. They still lead 1-0 against Sporting Lisbon in that game. At AS Monaco, Tottenham Hotspur is currently 0-0 at the 62nd minute. Real Madrid 1 up against Juventus. Courtesy that goal scored by Jude Bellingham. And Atlanta against Lava Praha is currently 0-0. Still no goal in the second half from Bayern against Club Brugge, but they've done enough in the first half of scoring 3 goals over the Belgian opponent at 64 minutes in that encounter. Also, Chelsea 5, Ajax 1, 58 minutes gone.
Yeah, 58 minutes gone already in the Chelsea game. Straight to Estevao, attacking down the right, already on a yellow card, returns it back to Josh Archipong. Many says he has still the chance to represent the Ghanaian national team at the World Cup, and that's a long pass forward, and Gittins with the ball, launch it back into the box. Still Chelsea in possession, offside. But there's an offside flag raised up and saying, yeah, it's free kick to Ajax.
Right now, it seems it's fast turning into a training ground routine for Chelsea. Right now, it's no longer a contest between these two sides.
Yeah, it looks more like a game that Chelsea is really relaxed and enjoying the rest of the minutes for the second half, because they've done a whole lot of good work in defense.
Yes, they saw Barcelona against Bayern Leverkusen. That game ended up 7-1, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Barcelona against Olympiacos
6-1.
Yeah. We saw Rashford with a brace in that one.
Bayern Leverkusen played well yesterday. I think they also
PSG 6-2.
6-2.
Yeah.
6-2 or 7.
I think is it 6-2 or 7?
It's around 7-2. I think they're the 7-2. So Nigeria will be preparing 2 substitutions in that encounter. At the 64th minute, we have Yahaya sporting the jersey number 9 and Raji sporting the jersey number 11. We have Abubakar and Olanriwaju being withdrawn by the Nigerian manager. So let's see what Yahaya and Raji will be bringing into this game. Will that be the savior for Nigeria, or can they also get the goals for the Flamingos in that game? 65 minutes gone in that encounter, and it's currently Nigeria 0, France 0 in that encounter. We have a free kick for Ajax against Chelsea at the 60th minute. 1 hour of football right there at Stamford Bridge, and it's Chelsea 5, Ajax 1.
Yeah, Chelsea 5, Ajax 1. Wow. That's a whole lot of goals to come in at the Stamford Bridge. 6 goals already, and I think that's the highest scoring fixture.
15 goals tonight after having over 40 goals yesterday.
3 goals yesterday.
3 goals yesterday, 15 goals. There's no way tonight is going to beat yesterday's record. It's not even going to match it. They are struggling to even get to half of what they got yesterday.
Not even. I think they're divided into 3 also. They've not gotten up to it, if I'm not mistaken.
Straight to the Chelsea goalkeeper Jorgensen, who looks inward into the midfield and finds Andre Santos right there. Andre will hold on to the ball for Chelsea. What will he make out of that? Returns it into the path of Wesley Fofana. Fofana approaches the Ajax box, midfield rather, and finds Estevao. Estevao holds on to the ball. A joy to watch whenever he holds on to the ball for Chelsea. Chelsea in possession, in cruise control over this encounter, and still Chelsea in possession. Lavia playing over 60 minutes is really good to see.
Yeah, it's really good to see. Looking that like he's already getting over his injury episode. And you just want those kind of players fully fit, really calm, knows how to control the pace of the game, knows how to do those marking, can be a very good replacement for Moises Caicedo.
And also another person who is I'm really happy seeing playing 60 minutes for Chelsea has to be that man Wesley Fofana. Chelsea attacking right now. What would they make out of that? Still Chelsea in possession. Tyreek George holding onto the ball for the Blues and finds Josh Archipong. Archipong goes straight for goal. But the goalkeeper will get this for Ajax. Another deflected touch right there.
Yeah, another deflected shot. The intention was right, but the defender was at the right place at the right time.
Yes,
And the goalkeeper saved that one.
okay, still no goal to report in various centers at Europe. The game between Bayern Munich and Club Brugge is Bayern 3, Club Brugge 0, Chelsea 5, Ajax 1. We also have Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0, Atlanta 0, Slavia Prague 0, Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 3. We also have a Sporting Lisbon 0, Marseille 1, AS Monaco 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Nigeria 0, France 0 at the 69th minute of that encounter. Back to the Chelsea game. Ajax in possession, looking to come out. Can they get 4 goals back in this one against Chelsea? And it can still happen in this encounter because we are barely into the 63rd minute rather. But they are not looking like a team ready to get those goals.
Yeah, I think they need to be defensively aware for the scoreline to look more presentable right there, because at 5-1 is already worse. And if they concede more, it will really, really be bad for them.
First of all, finds himself in the box there. I think he needs to work on his physicality. That was Bats really beating the Chelsea, the striker right there, or Chelsea winger rather. But he wins his team a corner kick against Ajax. Esteval standing on this corner kick for Chelsea.
Yeah, Esteval about to take this corner kick for Chelsea. With Chelsea increase the goal cushion against Ajax on this one, and the game against Nigeria, France.
This might be a big problem for Nigeria there, because the VAR has just the referee has just approached the VAR to have a view of a tackle right there in the middle of the park. Was it a dangerous tackle? Is left to say if that is going to be a red card for the Nigerian player. Let's see what VAR thinks of that after the referee have a review of that. But I don't think that was worthy of a red card. Probably a yellow card. Looks like that tackle was a follow-up after the ball, not just before. That shouldn't be a red card. Let's see. Because I think she rolled the ball. She actually kicked the ball. Then not intentional to me.
No, I don't think this should be a red card.
Oh, but I stood.
Yeah,
that might just be the big. That might just be.
Touched the ball before.
Yeah, that might just be the problem there. Let's see what the referee thinks. Would that be a red card to the Flamingos of Nigeria? But the referee is still consulting with the VAR to come to a final decision. It might just be a big 20 minutes for Nigeria should they get a red card in this encounter. So we are really praying that shouldn't be a red card to the Nigerian player who is the culprit in the middle of the park. The referee is still having a view of what happened then. Liverpool, while we are waiting for the confirmation of that VAR check from the referee, has just made it 4-1. Cody Gakpo with the 4th goal for Liverpool.
Yeah, Cody Gakpo, one guy that has been
massive
for Liverpool, really from last season. That has been one of those go-to guys for Liverpool, and extending.
And that is under substitution for Chelsea. And is what's it called? Romeo Lavia being withdrawn, and we'll be having Reggae Wash coming into this account. And the referee says it's not worthy of a red card. It's not even worthy of a yellow card. It should be a throwing to the Nigerian ladies.
Yeah, so
I think that was actually a good decision.
That's a spot on
decision from the referee there. Right I was actually scared. Whenever the referee goes to the VAR,
things can
change.
Yeah,
and the beauty of this FIFA competition is that yes, the teams they can call for a review.
Yeah, they can.
I think they have about 2 chances to recall if they are not okay with the decision taken by the referee and VAR. Yeah. So let's see if the French ladies will be taking a chance at using that card of reviewing that tackle. But I don't think that tackle was worthy of a yellow card, not to mention a red card. So it's game on in that game. 70th minute, approaching the 71st minute of Nigeria 0, France 0 in that one. We've seen Reggae Wash be thrown into this game between Chelsea and Ajax.
Yeah, Reggae Wash, one of those young lads, and let's see if he will actually do the needful for Chelsea. Maybe get a goal today. He has been one regular feature.
Reminds me of a certain Makikran when he plays for Chelsea.
Yeah, Makikran, and also this guy the midfielder, Billy Gilmore also.
Billy Gilmore,
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
Oh my God, interesting talent who has played. Also won the jersey of Chelsea. Not just won the jersey, but coming through the rank right there from
Yeah.
Cobham. It's always a joy when you see academic products. It's just this kind of there's this kind of joy I derive whenever I see Max Doan, the young Arsenal player, also come onto the pitch and represent Arsenal.
Yeah.
Interesting talent right there for the English national team. Right there at the 67th minute, 5-1 Chelsea lead against Ajax, and it seems that Chelsea are tired of scoring more goals.
I don't think they should be tired of scoring more goals because when it comes to the table way of arrangement, I think they need a whole
They
lot
need more
of
goals, yeah. They need more
They
goals.
need goals as much as they can get, and coming from a negative 1 goal, that means they just have 3 goals here, and for them to get more cushion, they need to score more goals.
I guess Chelsea dominating right from the first kick of this encounter until the 68th minute, which leaves us with barely 2 minutes away from 17-minute mark, and leaves us with about barely 20 more minutes to play in that encounter. 5 on the lead, and Liverpool have also scored their 5th goal, and is Dominic Szoboszlai at the 70th minute. What has Frankfurt bought from Liverpool without paying?
Yeah, it's so quite unfortunate that they are the ones that will face the rot after those 4 games losing streak for Liverpool, and now
It's actually a good morale booster game for Liverpool. Should they
Yeah.
get a victory, this big, massive victory over what's it called? Over
Eintracht Frankfurt.
Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yeah, it will be a massive win for them.
Mhm.
It will be one win that they will really fancy and build confidence from that to get back to winning ways in the Premier League. Though
Alright.
some of the big teams fans won't want that to happen.
So Liverpool has also equaled on the Chelsea scoreline. 5-1 the lead against Frankfurt. It's 11 against 11 in that encounter. While Ajax were reduced down to 10 man in that one between Chelsea and Ajax. So right there we're seeing this young man on our screen, Reggae Walsh there. Chelsea's corner kick. With this great chance of Chelsea scoring their 6th goal in that game. And Sporting Lisbon has just equalized that against Olympique Marseille. We saw that coming. We expected that to happen in this game after Marseille got a red card in the first half. So right now it's Sporting Lisbon 1, Olympique Marseille 1. But VAR are interested in seeing the legitimacy of that goal.
So let's see what VAR will do, and they cross into the box.
How is Gittins not scoring this? Oh, that is Estevao, not Jimmy Gittins.
Wow.
That should be a goal for what's it called, Estevao. There's beautiful cross there from Tyreek George. Yes, that's Tyreek George sending a cross into the box. And I should be expecting, or I was actually expecting Estevao to do
finish
better there.
on a strong foot.
Oh, and there was nothing the goalkeeper would have done about that.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. I think he could do better at the end of the day.
All right, 74 minutes in that game between the Nigerian under-17, the Flamingos, and the French under-17 is still 0-0 in this encounter. And it's France who are attacking against the Flamingos right now at the 75th minute. Also looking for their own to make their own goal to make it 2 wins out of 2 after defeating Samoa in the first game. 2-0 they defeated Samoa, and also we saw Canada earlier on today defeating that same Samoa 6-0. So it looks like the Canadians are high scoring side in this under-17 tournament. And that goal scored by Sporting Lisbon against Olympique Marseille stands. And Jenny Katamo with the equalizer at the 69th minute.
Yeah, at the 69th minute, Sporting Lisbon are back in that one. And one of the beauty of scoring at that point in time is that they can still take all 3 points in that.
Yeah, it's still very much possible, because I think Marcel really went started the waiting to defend a lot in this game, and you can see it. Although I think they still managed to match what's it called, Sporting Lisbon aura for aura in this game. 54% of ball possession to Sporting Lisbon, and 46% of the ball possession to Marcel in this encounter. So they've not done bad in this game, and they still have the experience of having Alba Miyang in this encounter. So Alba is still on the pitch. Yes, he was the provider of the goal scored by Igor. A lot of Igors in football these days. We saw Igor Thiago of Brentford, a fantastic buy for Brentford in the EPL.
Yeah, fantastic buy for Brentford. It can come in really, really good But there's another Tudor that looks like he might be losing his job at Juventus right there. So Tudor right, left, and center. There's also one Tudor that lost at the weekend to Chelsea. So it's like it's a Tudor something up and down.
Okay, the only center we're here to see a goal. Aston Villa game between Atlanta and Slavia Prague. 75th minute of that encounter is still 0-0 between both sides. Chelsea attacking, looking to get more goals in this game. And into the box, there's still the Blues in possession. Reggae Wash with the ball there, finds his teammates, and Chelsea, Josh Archipong goes out wide and finds Tyreek George. Tyreek George returns it back to Reggae, and yes, Chelsea in possession. What would they make out of this? Josh on the ball there, finds Wesley Fofana. Fofana goes out wide and finds his Chelsea teammate, and is Trevor Chalobah on the ball, beautifully OL there by the Chelsea young player Reggae Watch. So it's going to be a free kick onto Chelsea there. Itakura bringing down the 16 years old young player right there.
Yeah, so free kick to Chelsea. I think this is about 28-25 meters to the goal post. Can Chelsea convert this one? 73rd minute of that encounter.
This man has considered a lot of goals. And finally, we have a goal from Bayern Munich right there in the second half. It's 4-0. Nicholas Jackson at the 79th minute. And finally getting his first goal in a Bayern Munich jersey.
Yeah, that's the way to go. You just want to announce your arrival to the fans and register your name in the heart of the Bavarians. And let's see how far it can go between now and the end of the season.
Okay, here's a free kick to Chelsea at the 75th minute of this encounter. And what will they make out of these? Chelsea is still looking for more goals in this one. The referee having the wall, beautiful shot there, but the wall to the rescue there. Bonanote on the ball there, finds his Chelsea teammate. Yes, Chelsea attacking. What will they make out of it? Beautiful cross into the box. Oh, that eluded all the legs in the box there. Estevao in the mix again. Gittins with the cross with a beautiful e-swinger. But the finishing touch was what eluded that ball there. Look at that cross from Jimmy Gittins. If a striker was there, probably that would have been a goal for Chelsea.
Yeah, probably that would have been a goal.
Well, that is the delight to striker. That's what they always want.
Yeah, you want a player to put the ball well. It's easy that you just get a tap.
Yes, Ajax with a chance against Chelsea, but Chelsea will handle that clean and clean there. And yes, Chelsea attacking. Josh Archipong on the ball there, goes out wide and finds Tyreek George. Tyreek George cuts inward with the ball there and holds onto it. And cuts still comes further inward and finds his Chelsea teammate Estevao. And it looks like Estevao is playing more of a free role for Chelsea right now. And how on earth is Gittins not making that move?
Honestly, I don't know why. Because the guys cannot afford to be complacent at the end of the day.
It's also still 0-0 in that game between AS Monaco and Tottenham Hotspur. That game is in the 79th minute. Nigeria against France is still 0-0 at the 81st minute. So the Flamingos are trying and doing everything possible to see if they can salvage a point. I think 1 point in this game, yeah, it might be a bit dangerous for the girls going into that game against Samoa. We expect a victory for them against Samoa. Long range shots there from the French ladies. What? Okay, that didn't go into the back of the net, rather. If that had gone into the back of the net.
That was a good attempt from Estevao, but the goalkeeper saved that one and saved it. Right there, and corner kick it will be to Chelsea.
Yeah, beautiful. I think he has a ferocious shot at his foot, and to think that at the age of 19 you can see the shot power. At the age of 18 you can see the shot power he possesses in that leg.
Yeah, a lot of venom in that leg, a lot of strength in that leg, and I think that for an 18 years old, I think it's one of the talent that we just have to look and monitor at the end of the day. We just hope that it doesn't derail and it gets it.
Alright, that game is currently at the 77th minute. A corner kick to Chelsea with this great chance for a 6th for Chelsea. And it's going to be another corner kick. Itakura denying Chelsea a clear chance of a 6th one there at the Stamford Bridge. Quickly taken by Estevao and drops it straight onto the path of his teammate. Back to Estevao. Estevao with a cross into the box there. That went too much for the height of the Chelsea midfielder there. Chelsea back in possession. We have it onto the path of Bonanote. Bonanote with a long one. season 1 finds his Chelsea teammate. Yeah, might just be a chance for Chelsea. Long shots straight from Esteval. We're still interested in getting more goals in this one. 77th minute of that encounter, and we'll be having Ajax preparing another substitution of their own.
Yeah, Ajax are back to bring one of their players in. After going a man down, it has been a long day in the office, and they will not want to concede again.
Not walking through the lines there. You might just bring a chance to Chelsea. Oh, that would have been a beautiful goal if that had gone into the back of the net. Estevao with the ball for Chelsea, still holds on to the ball. What will he make of that? Returns it back into the middle where he finds Josh Archipong. Santos, Andre Santos on the ball there, goes out wide and finds it's Chelsea teammate, yes, still Chelsea in possession, taking it back. Bonanote finds himself in the box there, a long cross into the box, but easily defended there by the Ajax defender. Is Estevao holds on to the ball for Chelsea. It has really been a big battle between him and Bart, and we have France finally breaking the deadlock against the Flamingos of Nigeria. And it's France with the first goal. Late drama right there at the Group D of the women under 17. It's France 1, Nigeria 0 at the 84th minute.
Yeah, congratulations to France. They deserve it. They've been asking the right questions. And finally, they have their breakthrough. And that's the way to go. And let's go.
Yeah, it's a disappointment for me when I was thinking the Nigerian girls might be getting a 0-0 in that game. They finally let down themselves and conceded one, but there's still time to go in that game. We still have about 6 minutes to play in regulation time, so it's not done in that game. Nigeria can still get our own equalizer in that encounter, but as it stands, it's France 1, Nigeria 0. Look at that beautiful teamwork done there. The goalkeeper again. Look at that goal. Wow. Oh god, oh my god. Okay, back to the Chelsea game where Chelsea currently leads 5-1. Straight to the wing there we have Tyreek George with a cross into the box, but that eluded all the Chelsea players in the box, and it's going to be a throw-in to France there, to Ajax there. Looking like but probably a scare on what's it called, the Chelsea defender, what's his name, Wesley Fofana, who looks to be limping on the pitch. I think Chelsea really wants to see that happening. We also have a Mark Connell who will be replaced by Berger right now on the pitch. Straight into the 79th minute of that game between Chelsea and Ajax. It's Chelsea 5, Ajax 1 as it stands. Okay, we're looking at scoreline from other centers. Bayern Munich 4, Club Brugge 0 as it stands. Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0, Atlanta 0, Slavia Prague 0, Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 5, Sporting Lisbon 1, Olympique Marseille 1 at the 81st minute. AS Monaco 0, Tottenham 0. Nigeria currently trailing France by 1-0 at the 86th minute of that encounter.
Yeah, it's Chelsea back in possession. Fofana finds Trevor Chalobah, who will send that one into the box. Headed out, but the Ajax players will clear their lines at the end of the long ball fall, but Chalobah wins it back. 80th minute of action it is in that one. And it's Chelsea leading 5-1. It looks like Chelsea has close shop. Yeah. Maybe they just want to while away time. Okay,
we're also going straight into the last 10 minutes of that game between Chelsea and Ajax. Still Chelsea 5, Ajax 1. Still Chelsea possession of the ball. Tyreek George, but Chelsea wins themselves another corner kick. A chance for Nigeria equalizers. The referee has just gone to VAR monitor to have a view of what happened in the box. Will Nigeria be getting a penalty for this only time? Is it to check the penalty or to check another red card? Okay, I think this might just be to check a penalty for the Nigerian side. Let's see if that was what the referee was checking. But Chelsea has the corner kick right now against Ajax. Will this be a chance for Chelsea to score the 6th goal? And it's Esteval who's standing on this for the Blues, and they're sending a long one into the box there. Is easily defended there by the Ajax defenders, and should be a corner kick to Chelsea. And you can see Klessin not really having that from the referee.
Yeah, he's not really having that, but it's going to be another corner kick for Chelsea at the end of the day. Take it quickly, and it's back to Bonanote, who played in a 1-2, but they couldn't keep up with that one. Lost possession to the Ajax players, and they will try to pick up on a counter, but the Chelsea player had to buy time, and it's going to be a throw into Chelsea.
18 total shots from Chelsea in this game, 9 shots on target, 5 goals for Chelsea in this encounter, 2 goal attempts from Ajax in this game, and 1 goal scored by Ajax in this encounter. VAR review has been completed by the central referee in that game between Nigeria and France, and she had judged that as a fair tackle or fair shot from the goalkeeper. So it's not going to be a penalty to the Nigerian ladies. So it's still Nigeria trailing 1-0 in that game at the 8 minutes, just barely 2 minutes in regulation time to go for Nigeria to get a needed equalizer against the French side. Should they lose this game, France go up to 6 points, same as Canada, who has 6 points also in that group. So it might just be bye-bye to Nigeria in this competition.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Hope it's not far. It's me hosted by Morocco.
It's not really far. Just one direct flight, and they are back in Nigeria as it is. But it's a good try. You look at where you fall short and you work on it. But it looks like, I don't know if Nigeria is really learning from anything.
Okay, yes, I'm still Chelsea in possession of the ball. It is 3rd minute of the action, 7 minutes to play at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea leading 5-1 against Ajax. Straight into the wing there. And finds Tyreek George. Tyreek George will approach the Ajax box and sends another beautiful cross into the box. And what a chance! What a goal that would have been for Esteval. But unfortunately, not into the back of the net this time around.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. Look at his face.
And there was nothing the goalkeeper was going to do there. The goalkeeper was rooted to his stand there. Look at that there.
If he had faced the goal, it would have been a goal. He had. Oh my goodness!
Oh, I think he didn't get it. He didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get what was the touch. Yeah, he didn't get it right there. Yes, looks like at the 84th minute, we Chelsea been making another substitution all the time. Which it's going to be a goal kicker right there for Ajax. It's 4 minutes or 6 minutes to play in this encounter.
And it looks like the referee.
The number of times this referee has gone to the pitch side monitor in this game. Ajax making another substitution of their own in this game. This is 4th minute. Let's see what the Ajax player will bring into this encounter. Looks like they are preparing to substitution. Lucas Rufa being withdrawn and Goetz also being withdrawn. We've seen Gael being thrown into this encounter. They have about 6 minutes to salvage a point for Ajax.
Yeah, we'll just salvage that point. It's the 85th minute already and counting. It is. Will Ajax find a way back into this one? Not really visible, but impossibility is nothing in football because we've seen magical moments and we've seen mind-blowing moments in the world of football. John right there, not looking like the beloved, or maybe today. Maybe we'll actually get that crown of the beloved because Ajax is trailing 5-1. Can it find a way out for his team looking directionless, and Chelsea looking like a team that's dominating?
It looks like it's done and dusted right there at Stamford Bridge. 5-1 at the 85th minute. I don't really say Ajax coming back in this one. There's no way.
Bite,
there's no bite. There's nothing from there. It seems that they also are just trying to kill the time and see the time over. But I think they've actually done better in the second half than they did in the first half, considering just one goal in the second half.
I think it has to do with Chelsea more slowing down on getting the goals, not really attacking with venom and all, just trying to contain the game and try to just make sure they don't concede and just while away the time.
I think if Gittins doesn't get a goal, I'll actually be disappointed in him.
Yeah, Gittins should get a goal in this one, but it can happen. But he has had a good game,
no doubt. So far. Do you prefer him over Garnacho? Wait till the next game.
I think I still prefer Garnacho. More mature way of playing football.
I just love to see who starts for Chelsea. I guess Sunderland this weekend, but what a good rehearsal it is for Chelsea. Sporting Lisbon have just scored the second goal. I guess Olympique Marseille and Alisson Santos at the 86th minute. Gifted Sporting Lisbon the second goal. So Sporting 2, Olympique Marseille 1 as it stands right now.
Yeah, that's what we keep saying. You don't want to go one man down at that situation and consider equalizer at that time. you will always struggle, and you have to just give it to De Zerbi. He has been doing a whole lot of good job with Marseille, and it's just quite unfortunate that they had to go on. I think they are topping the French league on right now,
Yeah.
but despite the fact that we know that it is the farmers league, and the farmer will come and take his harvest.
Okay, there's a VAR review ongoing in that game between Nigeria and France, and the referee is back to the pitch and says for the second time that is not going to be a penalty to Nigeria. And at the 90 plus minutes, we are into additional time right now, so Nigeria have to try and score a legitimate goal and not just wait for VAR to win them a penalty. So after spending about 3 minutes on the VAR there, the referee says for the second time that tackle is not a penalty.
Yeah, rightfully so, because I think she took her time to check it very well, and they better just do the needful on the field of play and do what is expected of them.
All right, 8 minute additional time be added in that encounter. Nigeria still trying to see if they can get to the equalizer. A long one there, but typical schoolgirls error there. Be skied into the air and not into the back of the net. It's going to be a goal kick out to France against the Flamingos of Nigeria. Still 0-0 in that game between Atlanta and Slavia Praha, and also 0-0 between AS Monaco and Tottenham Hotspur to stadium tie where we didn't get a goal in this encounter, but still time to come, still time to go in that one. Rather, we can still get one late dramas in that encounter. Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 5 as it stands on right now in that encounter. Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0, Chelsea 5, Ajax 1. It's game over in that one between Bayern Munich and Club Brugge. That game ended 4-0 in favor of Bayern Munich.
Yeah, expectedly. You would have said most likely it would have been more than 4, but at least 4 is still okay. You expect Bayern Munich to win it with a huge goal margin, and 4-0 is okay.
4-0 is okay, and the Chelsea game, we are currently in the 8th and 9th minute. It looks like Chelsea has really taken off their legs from this encounter.
Yeah, they've really softened pedal. They just want to while away time, and if you go come along with it, all well and good, but it looks like a team that's comfortable with this 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1 is actually a good scoreline for the Blues as they look to attack Josh Achepong on the ball. There goes as wide, so Tyreek George returns it back into the middle of the park. Chelsea in possession, still cruise possession from the Blues. Goes as wide and finds Tyreek George on the ball there, finds his Chelsea teammate. What would Chelsea make out of that? Bonanotte on the ball for the Blues. Joining his own 90 minutes also in this account. Straight into the 90th minute as Chelsea looks to attack against Ajax again. It's still 5-1 the Blues lead in that encounter. And also Sporting Lisbon 2, Marseille 1-0 in that one between AS Monaco and Tottenham Hotspur. Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 5 at the 90 plus minutes. Atlanta 0, Slavia Praha 0, Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0. It looks like yes, this might just be the last game, possibly the last game for the Juventus manager.
Yeah, it might be the last game. I think it was given 2 games ultimatum, and with the way it is, but it's always difficult playing one of your 2 games ultimatum against Real Madrid. And we know the one thing Real Madrid has this season so far is they know how to win.
Yeah, they know how to win it, and they know how to get on the result. Esteval with the ball for Chelsea, looks inward into the middle of the park and finds Andre Santos to the wing there, returns it back and finds Trevor Chalobah. Chalobah comes forward with the ball for Chelsea. What will he make out of that? Looks inward there, finds it's just a teammate, but goes out wide and finds Tyreek George. Tyreek George will approach the Bayern Munich, Ajax box this time around, not Bayern Munich. I don't want Chelsea facing Bayern Munich anytime soon. Returns the back, he's still in the middle. Chelsea in possession, tries to trade one pass in between the Ajax line there, but straight into the goalkeepers, and Pasva with a long one tries to find his player there as it looks to attack. 5 minutes additional time at the end of 90 minutes. This referee doesn't like Ajax. I don't see any reason why you are giving Ajax 5. We are giving us 5 minutes in this game, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
all right, it's full time in that game between Liverpool and Frankfurt. It ended up Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 5.
Yeah, it's what is expected from Liverpool to react after that 4 games losing a run, and yeah, 5-1 responding I think they have sent the right message to the next opponent. We are coming for the kill.
All right, also still 1-0. Real Madrid leading against Juventus. Atlanta against Slavia Prague is 0-0. Sporting Lisbon coming from behind to lead against 10-man Olympic Marseille 2-1 in that account at the 90th plus. Here's Monaco 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Nigeria also in the 5th minute of 8 minutes at 7 minutes additional time are currently trailing 1-0 against France. And it doesn't look like there's a lifeline for Nigeria to score a goal in this game, because the girls are not really looking like they know what to do to get a goal in this one. It has really been a disappointing second half performance from the Nigerian ladies.
Yeah, when you look at it, France are one of the powerhouses in the female football.
But it's
game
under
right
17.
now. Yeah, even under 17, under 20, they have proper structure on ground for the team, and I think is one thing that Nigeria can also learn from them at the end of the day.
All right, straight into the 12th minute or 5 minute additional time for Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea currently leads on 5-1. Enzo Maresca will really be happy with the performance from his boys. Ajax holding on to the ball, just trying to while away the time and let the clock just roll down as we're straight into that minute. They have to angle for 2 minutes and make sure they don't concede a goal against Chelsea. But straight into the Chelsea goalkeeper, Jorgensen rolls onto the ball for the Blues right there. And it's not us. He's also not in the rush, but this time around looks inward into the midfield, finds Andres Santos. And Santos will look out wide and finds Josh Achepong. Achepong cuts forward with the ball straight to the wing where he finds Tyreek George. Tyreek George will approach the Ajax defense, but looks inward and finds Josh. Josh with the ball there finds his Chelsea teammate. Here's Chelsea trying to build up from the middle of the park straight to Gittins. Jimmy Gittins returns it back and finds
it looks like Real Madrid game is done and
dusted. Yes, 1-0 Real Madrid won that encounter. So we have just the Chelsea and Ajax game, and also Sporting Lisbon against Olympic Marseille as the remaining games are yet to be concluded in the UEFA Champions League. And still Chelsea in possession. Right now is the 4th minute of additional time in that game.
And the remaining 2 games has a red card situation in the 2 games.
Probably that's why we have more time in that game.
Yeah, in that encounter. And they cross into the box, but the Ajax goalkeeper grabs that one easily right there. So approaching the 4th minute of additional time, Chelsea still leading 5-1, and yes, they want to suffer every time in this encounter so far.
And also straight into the 7th minute of 7 minutes additional time is Nigeria currently still trailing 1-0 against France in that encounter. Looking at the scoreline from the UEFA Champions League various matches today, Atletico Bilbao defeating Karabag 3-1. We have Galatasaray against Bodo Glimt. It ended 3-1. AS Monaco against Tottenham ended 0-0. We have Atlanta against Slavia Prague. It ended 0-0. And that is the final whistle of the game between France and Nigeria. And it's the French ladies who are jubilating, defeating the Flamingos of Nigeria 1-0. An 84th minute goal was all they needed to get this maximum 3 points against the Flamingos of Nigeria. It's really been a disappointing competition for the Flamingos, losing 2 out of 2.
Yeah, 2 out of 2. Come back, go back to the drawing board. Hopefully that drawing board is not destroyed, and try to see what they can make out of it for next time.
Okay, as there's still another one to come next year. We will find out with you. When it comes to that 17 female team, we know how to qualify.
Yeah, female underage, even the main team, Nigeria has been on.
Oh, but they've been struggling. They've been struggling with qualifying for the under 17 male category.
And just the male, I'm talking about the female and the final.
As the final whistle also at Stamford Bridge, where a 5-star performance from Chelsea was enough to give them 3 points and send them into plus in goal difference right there at on the UEFA Champions League standings. This time around it's not group stage, it's a league format. But beautiful results from the Blues and beautiful results from every centers in Europe.
Yeah, beautiful results expectedly, but we didn't see as much goals as last week, and goals makes the game more fun. But at the end of the day, we enjoyed the sight we saw. Yeah,
it's always a pleasure having you in the studio, you mate.
Pleasure.
Okay, that's about how much we can take on Premier Sport Fan Center today. Thanks for joining us for today's coverage of the UEFA Champions League and the Nigerian France game. we just wish the Nigerian girls better luck against Samoa. If they can defeat Samoa in their next game, well, who else can they defeat on the world of football? That's about how much you can take till we come your way again. It's bye for now.